Where's that missing a duct tape spot?
I have no idea. Okay, we're live right now. We're streaming live. Oh, we're still at 9:58, and then I'll push recording at 10, and we should be good to go. (9:59). One more minute. Hope everyone's having a great day so far. Beautiful day here in Utah. Okay, we're getting real close here, Jason.
Good old snow people are having. It was like 85 here yesterday.
Oh my gosh. Well, my son, he said it was pretty hot yesterday too.
Yeah, he doesn't even know what he's in for.
No, well, he is, because he's been there. He was there last year. There you go.
All right. We are live for May workshop. Super excited. I don't know about you guys, but it was definitely was it ever a crazy end of month last month? And we are here again in May already. Can y'all believe it's May? But we're getting there, and we're having a good time. So get your pens and papers. If you haven't went ahead and went into the files section of the One Team Global page, make sure you go over there. You printed out all your worksheets that are going to help you facilitate today. We have an amazing lineup of people that we're going to be going through and making sure that you have. This is a reason even when I got asked, do we want to do it on the first, because we know everyone's going to be trying to finish out the month. It's going to be insane, or do we want to push it a week? I said, heck no, let's put it on the first. So big thanks to all the people that just agreed to help us today, because we know what it's like to try to finish out the month and be prepared to present on the very first day of the month. So thank you guys, all the speakers that agreed to do this. We have an amazing group today. And I wanted to make sure that we did not waste a week. I think these workshops are so very important to set the tone for the month, especially, as we start out here in a minute. Everybody knows this guy because he's amazing. I mean, when he dresses up in his outfit, he's like Superman, right? But Nick Jackson's going to start us here in a couple minutes, but he's going to set us on goals. And when we get into goal setting, why is goal setting so important? It gets you exactly where you need to be, and have you hyper focus on exactly what you intend to create, right, for that month. Not what you hope happens. Well, I hope I make this volume. No. We don't hope around here, guys. We intend, right? We make sure that we have a game plan set. And that's what goals. If anybody's been around for a while, the guy I learned goal setting from was Nathan Ricks. I've never seen ever anybody be as specific with his goals. And look at the life he created. There was nothing really special about Nathan growing up. It's not like he had all this ability or people that just made the way for him. He made the way, right? He plowed that path. What's awesome, we get to follow that in those footsteps. So, and a lot of this and a lot of these principles that we'll be going through today, we learned from him and some of the great leaders that have paved the way for us. So again, hyper excited. For you guys that don't know me, my name's Jason Harris. I'll be facilitating this crazy group of maverick entrepreneurs that decided to be with us today. If you're tuning in and need Spanish translations, we have all that. But make sure if you're here, right? You're present. We want to make sure that we do whatever we can to help set you up for success this month. Have your eyes on the prize. We were joking around beforehand. As you can see, I got my lays in the background because I'm ready to party in Hawaii with you guys. It's going to be amazing. How many of you guys are set where you are, you have that eye on the prize, you know exactly what numbers you need to hit in order to help with us. There's one of our next goals. We got stuff like this all over our house, right? Visual goals. You got to be set. So with that, guys, I don't want to waste any time. I want to be hyper conscious of your time today. I know it's a Saturday, it's the first, but we want to get into it. So again, our first speaker is a Blue Diamond from Utah. He lives not too far from the company. I can't wait to see this guy in a couple months. Hey, he just went through a pretty major knee surgery, and yet he's still here, committed, ready to rock and roll with us. And I'm super excited to hear his take and how he presents with goals. We kind of switched up some of the speakers a little bit, and we got some newer people that are helping. And I am very excited because every time I tune in, I hear one nugget from almost every speaker that's like a new take that helps me grow. And so, Nick, thank you so much. Your journey has been amazing with the company. Pretty typical, like a lot of us, right? Rise, fall, rise, fall, rise, fall, and all over the place. But you're here, man, you're at the top and you are crushing this business. So Nick, I am going to turn the time over to you. I appreciate you. Again, get your goal sheets out, guys. And I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Nick Jackson.
All right. Thank you, Jason. I'm excited to be here and grateful for the opportunity. For you guys to ask me to participate. Hopefully my lighting's okay. You guys can see me all right. So my journey has been, through several ups and downs, as Jason said, in this business. I started off as a college student, just looking for a way to make some extra money on a flexible basis around school. And, luckily I lived in Provo, Utah, right by the Nu Skin headquarters. And so I didn't have any excuses to not attend events, right? And, I made an effort to attend Team Elite universities and to surround myself with the people that had the success I wanted to have. And it really transformed my vision of what's possible in this business. And, to the point where I started to see how this could be a long-term career, right? And one thing I'll share is, one of my mentors, Brent Bryson, he said, a lot of you guys, you might be new, you might have, more experience in the business. But I remember in the beginning stages, I was still trying to figure it out. Right? Like, is this really for me? Can I really do this? You go through, different levels of belief in the first stages of your business. And, one thing that he said to me was that this career with Nu Skin will be more fulfilling and satisfying than any other career, any other thing that you could do out there. And I've got to say, it's so fun being able to see, how you can improve, the quality of someone's life, first of all, with the products, right? Helping them have a positive experience with the products. Second, obviously helping people transform their lives financially with the business, but then also helping people grow as an individual, right? Gain more confidence in themselves and grow as a leader and be able to impact other people and see the positive changes that this makes in their life. And so I'm going to be talking about goals today, and I'm going to be sharing my screen quite a bit just because I'm quite a visual learner. And we have a specific worksheet that we like to go through today for the workshop. And so if you go to the One Team Global Live Facebook group, and if you go into files, you can look up, the workshop templates. And so you can find this and then all the other, documents that we're going to go through today that will kind of guide, the training this morning. And so I'm going to be referring back to this. And so if you don't have this printed off, make sure, I don't have this printed off, right? But I've got, a piece of paper and a pen, and I'm going to be doing this with you. And so to start off, as we set goals, there's many different things that we can set goals on. We're going to focus today on the most important things that really, are going to drive your business, right? Such as looking at your volume, your pin title, income, number of brand reps in your organization, success trip, leadership teams, platinum team elite status, circle of excellence, and Nourish the Children. And so when I set goals, I always like to start with the end in mind. Okay. And so I'm going to start today talking about, on the worksheet here, starts off with volume, but what I would recommend that you do is that you get with, with your sponsor, your senior partners, And, you work through this with me this morning right now, and then make sure you share this with, with your upline. So that way they can coach you and guide you, and just make sure that everything is aligned as far as how much volume you're going to need to accomplish in order to achieve, the pin title and income goals that you want to achieve. And then also, breaking down, having a daily method of operation, right? A daily plan of what you're going to do every day to achieve your goals. And really this time this morning, it's a commitment, right? You're going to take 3 hours out of your time. You're going to have distractions. You're going to have kids and family and other things. It's a beautiful day in Utah, right? Lots of things you could be doing. But if you take the time to really, commit right now and really focus, this can save you so much time, right? We're going to help you lay a solid foundation, as Jason said, for the month. And so as far as thinking of starting with the end in mind, I really start setting my goals thinking about, okay, how much do I want to make this month, and what pin title do I want to reach? And if I know those end goals, right, because that's the end result of everything that we do, is the income, right? And obviously the contribution that we're making to others. But I want you guys to kind of think about, where do you want to be? And I'll break this down. I'm going to go in order on the worksheet, but I want you to think about, where do you want to be by the end of this month? Okay. As far as, pin title and income. And then, you can work with your sponsor to kind of break that down into how much volume you're going to need to do. But I am going to show some examples of how to go through all of this. And so as far as what we see on the worksheet here, the first thing we have is GSV. GSV stands for group sales volume. Okay, so once you become a brand representative, right, that's where you start getting paid on your total group sales volume. And group sales volume is all the volume done by you and all the customers and affiliates in your group. Okay, so excluding, not including, if you have anyone else that's a brand representative under you in your team, then their volume would not count towards your group sales volume, right? And so if you're newer in the business and you don't yet have brand representatives in your team, then for the purposes of right now, you're going to focus on group sales volume, right? Which is that volume between you and all the customers and affiliates in your group. Okay. And so we want to set that goal for group sales volume. Then also organizational sales volume is the volume of your total organization, right? So that would include both your GSV plus the volume of all of the different teams of brand representatives in your organization. Okay. So you want to be able to track, your personal group that you're growing and building, because, that's your level of group sales volume is going to dictate how many leaders you're creating, right? And so, and eventually that's then going to contribute to your organizational sales volume. And so as you see on the worksheet here, we have it broken down for the 7th of the month, the 14th of the month, and the 21st of the month. And the reason why is because instead of just having one month cycle now where Nu Skin pays commissions, they pay out on a weekly basis. At least the building bonus, which is the bonus we earn as brand representatives. Okay. And so at midnight on the 7th, Nu Skin looks at all the volume that you and your team did in that period, and they're going to pay out commissions on the 8th. And then Nu Skin looks at the volume you and your team do between the 8th to the 14th, and they're going to pay out that commission on the 15th. Okay. Then they look at all the volume that you do from the 15th to the 21st, and they're going to pay out that commission on the 22nd, right? And then at the end of the month, they'll see what volume you did between the 22nd and the end of the month, and they'll pay out commissions on that, right? And then as far as on a monthly basis, you get paid out, what you do in a month on your, as far as your team of brand representatives, that's going to be paid out the following month on the 8th. Okay. And so also on all these different benchmarks, you can rank advance in the company. Right. So you don't need to set a goal to wait until the end of the month to move up in your pin title in the company. Right. You could do it, between now and the 7th, right? Between now and the 14th, between now and the 21st, and be able to rank advance this month and be able to now start getting paid those commissions. And so especially if you're focused on getting to brand representative, don't wait. right? Hurry and get there as fast as you can, by the 7th of this month. So that way, the rest of the month, you can now start earning those higher commissions on your growing team. Okay. And so one thing we've been taught is just according to the, statistics, is the volume that's done in Nu Skin. Typically 20% of the volume is done in week 1, right? And then typically 20% of the volume is done in week 2. 20% is done in week 3. And then in that remaining, week to 10 days or so of the month is about 40% of the volume. And so, one comment on this is, first of all, don't procrastinate. I think it's human nature. We start a new month, we say, okay, great, I've got the whole month, right? I've got the whole month to achieve my goals. Today I'm just going to take it easy, spend time with the family. I've been working a lot. And yes, obviously, you want to make sure you're spending quality time with your family. But, sometimes we can get overly distracted, right, by different things. And so the human nature is that people tend to kind of slack off the first 1, 2, 3 weeks of the month. And then they say, oh man, I'm not where I wanted to be by now. I better hustle and get there, right? It's like the last week to 10 days of the month, we see this huge increase in volume because people really, really commit and buckle down. And so what I would recommend is to keep yourself on track. Okay. And so, keep yourself on track and discipline so that you say, hey, by the end of week 1, whatever my total organizational volume goal is, and I'm going to share here an example of this, right? So let's just say your GSV goal is 4,000 for the month. Okay. And your organizational sales volume goal is 20,000, right? Your total team volume. So what you would want to make sure that you do is by the end of week 1, as far as your group sales volume, you would want to have 800 points done. By the end of week 2, you would want to have an additional 800 points. By the end of week 3, you'd want to have 800 more. And then week 4, which is really, the 22nd to the end of the month or so, you'd want to do 1,600 points in volume. Okay. So you can set benchmarks for yourself on a weekly basis to keep yourself on track. Okay. And then as far as for the organizational sales volume goal, you would want to shoot for doing 4,000 points in your total team within your first week, 4,000 more in week 2, 4,000 more in week 3, and then 8,000 in week 4. Okay. This would be to kind of just keep yourself on track. And, part of our core habits in Nu Skin, and the reason why I put 4,000 points here is because part of our core habits is achieving 2 blocks per month. Okay. 1 block is 500 points in volume, which means that achieving, over the course of these weeks, we recommend to shoot for doing at least 1,000 points in volume in group sales volume per week. Okay. And the reason why, these are some of the statistics that have been shared within OTG and from the company. Nu Skin, if you look in your back office, it'll say great, GR8. It means you're someone that's achieved 4,000 in group sales volume per month. And the reason why this is such an important number to shoot for is because, as you see on the screen, you're going to have on average, the people that achieve 4,000 GSV or more per month, they're going to have 2 times more customers. They're going to have 3 times more LOIs in their team, which mean more leaders, generating, developing more leaders, 3 to 4 times higher earnings. Okay. 15 times more likely to become a 10K leadership team within 3 months, 6 times more likely to advance in pin title within 3 months. And it says 80% of those that do 2 blocks a week, right? So why 2 blocks a week? Why 1,000 points in volume per week? 80% of people that do that end up with more than 8 blocks, right? 80% of people that do at least 1,000 points in volume per week end up with more than 4,000 points in volume. Okay. And so that's just kind of a recommendation as far as if you're looking for a benchmark. As a brand representative, you do need to do at least 2,000 points in volume per month. So that's the bare minimum. If you want to be able to maximize your commissions, you always want to shoot for at least 3,000 in group sales volume or more. For example, if you have other brand representatives in your team, you want to shoot for at least 3,000 points in volume or more per month. Otherwise, you're going to miss out on a lot of income. Okay. And so we recommend to set that goal to do at least 4,000 GSV per month. Okay. I want to flip forward now. We're going to go to pin title, but what I want you to make sure you're doing while I'm talking is writing down, right? You should write down, okay, what is my total for the month group sales volume that I want to have? Okay, so why don't we take 30 seconds or so and do that right now, right? So I'm going to write down on my notebook here, my piece of paper, what I want to have as my group sales volume for the month. And then I'm going to write down, what I want to have for my organizational sales volume, my total team, between both me and all the brand representatives in my team, right? Okay, so I write that down. And then what I want to do now is break that down and say, okay, by the 7th of the month, here's where I need to be as far as GSV, right? Take, that total group sales volume number. Let me just pop up here. What's 20% of that group sales volume number for week 1, by the 7th, achieving that. Now by the 14th, what's the that same amount, right? Another 20%. As far as where you need to be. And then by the 21st, another 20% for your GSV, where you want that to be. And then by the end, it would be, what do you want your total group sales volume to be? And that way, you're not just going to set a goal for the month, you're going to set a weekly goal, right? And then I'd recommend you have a daily plan of what to do each day to get there. Okay. And so, all right, being told to slow down a little bit for the translation. Okay, you want to do the same thing for your organizational sales volume by breaking down where you want to be at each week and each period through the month. Okay. So why don't you guys finish that up? Okay. Make sure you have for your organizational sales volume as well. And obviously, part of the volume that we do, we want to focus on moving up in the compensation plan. And so this is an overview. You can find this on the Nu Skin website. Log into your account. Click on your name on the top right if you're on your computer. If you're on your phone, it's 3 bars on the top left, and then go down to where it says Office, and then go to Sales Compensation Plan Summary. Okay, and so as far as setting a goal for your pin title, you want to understand what does it take to reach each pin title. And so first of all is brand partner or brand representative. Okay, so first brand representative, and depending on the market you're in, there may be some different qualification requirements. For us in the US, the accelerated qualification is 5,000 points in group sales volume within 3 calendar months. There's some other requirements in there, but then the traditional qualification is 6,000 points within 6 months, with a couple other obviously requirements in there. And then I know in some other markets around the world, there is a fast track qualification to qualify by doing just 2,000 points in sharing block sales volume in your first month. Okay, so you want to make sure, find out what is the qualification where you live, and make sure to set that goal. Right. The first step always is to do at least 1,000 points in volume. If you're brand new, that's your first benchmark. We call that your letter of intent. And then to complete the rest of the qualification, become a brand representative. Okay. So as far as once you become a brand representative, to move up further in the compensation plan, to become a gold partner, you need to help one more person become a brand representative. To become a lapis partner, it's helping 2 to 3 people become brand representatives. To become a ruby partner, it's helping 4 people become brand representatives. And these are people on your first generation, right? So, these are different teams, individual teams that you're building. Okay. And then to become an emerald, you are going to help 4 people become brand representatives. You need at least one of those 4 teams to do at least 10,000 points in volume per month. Okay. And then diamond partner, to become diamond is to help 5 people become brand reps. And out of those 5 teams, one needs to do at least 10,000 points in volume, and another needs to do at least 20,000 points in volume per month. Okay, then we have blue diamond, where you help 6 different teams of people become brand representatives. One of those teams does at least 10,000 in volume per month. One does at least 20,000 in volume per month, and one does at least 30,000 in volume per month. Okay. And then next is Team Elites, where you also help 6 people become brand representatives. And as far as the leadership team sales volume requirements, you need at least one team that does 10,000 in volume per month, one that does 20,000 in volume per month, one that does 30, and one that does 40,000 in volume per month. Okay. And so make sure you know what your next benchmark is. And there's also additional bonuses paid out when you achieve Emerald, Diamond, Blue Diamond, and Team Elite in your team. Different incentives that Nu Skin gives us. Okay. So make sure you know what is your next benchmark as far as what title do you want to reach, right? I would never let a month go by without, pushing for that next title, that next level, right? Everyone has different goals. Everyone has a different way to define what success means to you and what success looks like. But I would say, if your goal is to move up, in the compensation plan, I would say I would always be setting that next, this month, what's that next title? How do I achieve that next title? What does that look like? To keep you focused on growth. It's very easy once you start to get a small team of people, you reach that, brand rep, gold, lapis, ruby kind of in there. It's easy just to kind of sit on that team, right? And coach them and motivate them. And what we get into what we call management mode, where you start just coaching your team instead of leading by example and taking action and showing them how it's done, right? So that'd be my recommendation, is to always every month have a goal to move up. And what is your next pin title going to be? Okay. As far as income, there's a few different ways that we get paid. Okay. So obviously, all the volume that we're doing is now going to filter through Nu Skin's compensation plan and how we get paid. So I'm not going to do a full, compensation plan overview, but you can set goals for the retail bonus, the retail profit, which is basically when you're selling and promoting products, it's the difference between what you charge your customer, not including tax and shipping, and the wholesale price. Right? So if you have a AP24 whitening toothpaste, our cost is $11 in the US and the retail price is $21. So if you were to charge your customer the full retail price, that would be an $11 retail bonus that you would earn from making that sale. And so you can set goals for how much you want to make in retail profits from the products that you sell. Okay. Next is the sharing bonus, which is paid roughly 5 to 20% on your level 1 customers and affiliates. Okay, especially if you are not yet a brand rep, this is the second way you're going to get paid, right? The additional bonuses are paid once you get to become a brand rep. Okay, so this the sharing bonus counts when you send links to customers to purchase. Then also anyone that you personally sponsored, you get paid a commission every time they purchase a product. And the commission varies based on, how much, based on the product. Okay, so you're going to get paid anywhere between 5 to 20%. I would say it roughly falls closer to the 10% mark on those sales. Next is, as you become a brand representative, this for me is a little easier to calculate. You can look at most likely your senior partners have kind of a scale that would show an example of based off of how much group sales volume that you do, because we can calculate the commissions, between 5 to 40%. What is the income you're going to be paid, right? So I would reach out if you're not sure how much you get paid based off how much volume you do. I would reach out to your upline and ask them and say, hey, can you help me understand how much group sales volume I need to do in order to make this much money this month? Okay, and then we have the leading bonus, which is if you're doing 3,000 points or more in group sales volume, you're going to get paid 5% on your teams of brand representatives. And so what you can do is look at your volume goals, right, of your GSV, your organizational sales volume, and you can do the math, right? You can say, okay, my group sales volume goal for this month, I'm going to be paid, 5 to 40% on that. Okay, so based off the goal that I have, by achieving that goal, what is roughly the income that's paid out by doing that? Then you can look at your brand reps and your team and say, okay, my goal is to have this much total volume by my brand reps. If I'm paid 5%, on the generations deep that you are qualified to earn, what is that going to pay you? Okay. So that's how I break it down. And as far as when you're first starting off, what I recommend is, start with how much do you want to make this month, right? And what pin title do you want to reach? And then you can break it down into volume of group sales volume and organizational sales volume. All right. So our next benchmark to measure is number of brand reps in your team. So the very bare minimum that a brand rep needs to do is 2,000 points in group sales volume per month. Okay. The average, is higher, probably roughly 3,000 to 4,000 in volume per month. But as far as to set proper expectations, we can just do the math with saying, the average brand rep is going to do 2,000 points in volume per month. And so, if your goal, for example, is to do $100,000 points in volume per month, right? And you're saying, okay, the average brand rep in my team is going to do 2,000 points in volume. So how many brand reps do I need? Well, you would take that target of 100,000 organizational sales volume and divide it by 2,000. So that would give you a total of 50 brand reps. So you would need roughly 50 brand reps in your team in order to achieve that 100,000 in volume, in total team volume, right? To then get paid the commissions and the income that you want to make. Okay. So make sure to write that down as well and do that math. Okay. So next, as we're going into success trip, there's different ways that we accumulate points for the trip. And so what I would do is if you're a brand rep or higher, I would go into your volumes and then go into the recognition tab and then click on success trip. And it'll show you your benchmark as far as pin title you need to reach, then also how many success points you need to accumulate, right? So what I would do is look at how many success points have you accumulated so far since January, because the trip we can qualify between January to the end of June. Then I would look at the remaining points that you need. Okay, let's just say you need 100 success points to qualify for your first trip. And let's just say you're at 50. And so between now May and June, you need to accomplish an additional 50 success points. So you can break that down and say, okay, I'm going to do 25 success points this month and 25 success points in June and qualify for that trip. Okay. And what I would do is work with your sponsor, with your upline, leaders to get a specific plan as far as exactly what you need for the trip. Okay. Then as we move down here now, we have your leadership teams. All right. And so we know that in order to progress in the compensation plan, you need to build strong teams of these leadership teams. Okay. So Nu Skin, they really pay us for our leadership. And so if you're looking at, having a 10K leadership team, first of all, you want to write down who in your team is going to be that 10,000 point leg. Okay. So look at, who are your current brand reps on your first generation that are direct to you, and say, okay, who this month is going to be my team that is going to achieve 10,000 or more this month. Okay. Then you can look at, what's the other leg that's going to do 20,000 in volume or more this month. And you can look at, okay, what leg is going to be my 30,000 point leg? Then what is going to be your 40,000 point leg? And, sometimes when you're new, you might look at that and think, oh my goodness, I just got my LOI. I just got my 1,000 points. How am I supposed to build a team that, all these legs that do 10, 20, 30, and 40,000 points in volume? Well, it's, teaching people to do what you do. And so if you look at it, if you think the average brand rep is going to do about 2,000 points in volume per month, to have a 10,000 point leg, you need about 5 brand reps in that team. Okay. In order to have a 20K leg, you're going to need about 10 brand reps in that team. In order to have a 30K leg, you're going to need about 15 brand reps in that team. And to have a 40K leg, you're going to need about 20 brand reps in that team, right? So look at those legs and look at those and think, okay, how much volume did they do last month? How many brand reps do we currently have? Who is in qualification that we can help get to that next level, right? And set those goals, right? Work with those leaders, those different legs that you're helping to build, and help them, look at their team and their organization to see who to focus on to help continue to move up in the compensation plan. Okay. And so now as we get into Platinum Team Elite, this is a more advanced goal, right? That's not going to apply to everybody, but obviously something that everybody can achieve. And so Platinum Team Elite, once you achieve Team Elite, there's some more recognition benchmarks you can accomplish. And so to become a Platinum Team Elite, your organization needs to do a minimum of 2.5 million in organizational sales volume, right? So just a little over 200,000 points in volume per month. And then as far as for the stars, 1 star, 2 star, 3 stars, and 4 stars, that is based on how much you've grown your volume compared to the last year. So for 1 star, you need to grow your total organizational volume on the year by 500,000 points or more. For 2 stars, it's growing your total organizational volume by 1 million points or more. For 3 stars, it's doing 1.5 million points or more. And 4 star means that you grew your organization by over 2 million points in volume compared to the previous year. And so there are, some more nuances to this that you can look up and just to get all of the details, but that's roughly, what those benchmarks are. One thing to know is that you can only count 1 million in growth from each leg, right? So if you're going for 4-star platinum, you can count 1 million in growth from one team that you have, and the remaining 1 million would need to come from growth in other legs that you have. Okay. So set those goals, right? As far as your total organizational volume for the year, and then as far as how much growth that you want to have above last year. Okay. And now as far as for Circle of Excellence, this is a recognition milestone of how much you have earned in commissions from Nu Skin. So Circle of Excellence 1 means that you have made in excess of $1 million in your career with Nu Skin. Circle of Excellence 2 means you've earned between $5 to $10 million in your career with Nu Skin. Circle of Excellence 3 means you've earned in excess, $10 to $20 million in commissions with Nu Skin. And Circle of Excellence 4 is $20 million or more in earnings with the company. And so set that next benchmark and break that down, right? So that you can break it down to what do you need to do on a monthly basis to achieve that goal in the time frame that you want to do it. Okay. And then lastly is giving back, right? Is making a contribution to others. And we do that, a big part of that with Nu Skin is Nourish the Children. Being able to, if you're not aware of this program, I would recommend you learn about it. It's a beautiful program where we can be able to give back and donate meals to starving and malnourished children around the world, so that they can be able to have the nutrition that they need. And there's more that goes into that program as well. The more you learn about Nu Skin and everything they do, above and beyond making great products and providing a great opportunity, Nu Skin really is a force for good in the world. And it's really a privilege and an honor to be working with Nu Skin, to be part of this community. And so, this is what I wanted to share today about setting your goals. And so, once again, I hope as we've done this, you've been writing these down. Share this with your upline leaders. Go through it. Maybe you need to make some adjustments, right? Maybe you need to say, okay, in order to achieve the pin title you want to hit and the income that you want to hit, maybe we need to make some adjustments to your volume goals. And then it all comes down to having a daily plan, right? You're going to hear more today about how to actually put this plan into action now, but setting these goals is the foundation, and so important to do. It's easy to be lazy with this and just kind of, jump in and start working. But, a person without goals is kind of like a ship without a rudder, right? And you'll just be bounced around back and forth, putting out fires, right? Responding to life versus being intentional and achieving the goals that you want to accomplish and achieving the life that you want to have. So Jason, I'm done. Thanks for having me on today, and we'll see you guys later.
Wow, thanks, Nick. Excuse me so much for sharing with us, man. It was amazing. Yes, definitely get with, because especially when we're new, I've seen this multiple times over my career with Nu Skin over the past almost 12 years. Can't believe it's been that long. Where you'd have someone say, okay, I want to make, my goal is 3,000 a month. Like, that's great of income. And I was like, okay, what's your volume goals? 3,000. I'm like, that's not going to work, right? Like, that's not in alignment. So definitely utilize, this is the first of the month. One of our key elements that we preach with One Team Global is consultation. Guys, you have an amazing group of people around you that they're invested in your success, that have been there and done that, right? Like I was saying at the beginning of the program, they've kind of plowed that field. We're never going to tell you something to do that's not a benefit to you, right? We want to be in alignment. And then as leaders, we know how fast or slow you intend to build the business. Everyone's on their own journey and on their own deal. So one thing I did want to mention real quick, because goal setting I love, and all you guys know, we have Success Summit coming up third weekend of July. We're going to do some major recognition that I can't wait to see all you guys shine in your glory. So Rubies and above that are in attendance. Now we're going to do some online stuff too, but Rubies and above in attendance. If you hit Ruby by the third week of June, right, the 21st of June, you're going to be recognized at Success Summit on stage as that new pin title. So remember, guys, we want to make sure that you set some of those goals, because if you hit a new pin title by the 21st of the month, you're paid for that month as that new pin title. And so we want to really recognize all those beautiful achievements and things like that. So how do we do it? Okay, we have our goals set. So what now? Well, we got to talk to people. We got to let people know we're in business. Who do we talk to? So our next speaker has become just one of my dearest friends in the world. We've been through a crazy journey at Nu Skin together, but this business has definitely helped change and transform her life in a lot of ways. So our next speaker is going to go into contact lists. How do you create a contact list? Who do you know who you're going to talk to? And so our next speaker is Miss Carrie Carpenter is going to be coming on. She's a Ruby with the business. She's been amazing, seeing some really interesting growth throughout her over the years, and is developing into one of the greatest leaders on our team. So I'm super excited for you guys to meet Carrie and for her to share. She is a reformed teacher. I'm just playing. She used to be a teacher. So who better to teach us how to create a contact list than a teacher, right? So Carrie, would you come on live and share with us about creating your contact list?
Good morning. Thank you, Jason. I'm super excited to be here. I'm going to set my timer right now, because when I start talking, I get so excited and I have so much that I want to share that I lose track of time. So I've got my timer set so I don't talk for an hour. Thanks for the introduction. Like I said, I'm excited to be here. Happy May. April was amazing. It flew by, and we are ready to start May off with, momentum. So I'm Carrie Carpenter. I am a mom of 4 teenagers, 3 girls and a boy, and I live in a small town in Southern Illinois. I've been with Nu Skin for 2 years. Last month was actually my 2-year anniversary. We did a little celebration. It's always so exciting to hit those milestones in your business. The last 2 years has just flown by. So I kind of just stumbled upon this business. I wasn't really looking. I had saw someone post about a tanner on Facebook, and I, of course, am a sucker for a self tanner. So I bought it. The girl I bought it from reached out to me to follow up to see how I was loving the product. And of course I was, over the top. And she offered the opportunity to me. I was a hard no. No, thank you. Not interested. I had then bought a whitening toothpaste, and again, she kind of offered the opportunity, told me she would love to tell me more about it. Again, I was a no. So finally, the third time, she kind of sent me a little more information, and she was kind of just like, I'm just going to throw this at you, see what happens. And I'm so thankful that she did. Because I finally said yes. I took that leap of faith and jumped right into the business and haven't looked back since. I retired from my full-time job in education last June. So that was a big, exciting step for me. Wasn't something that I had planned on doing. but it just seemed like the right time. My business was doing well, and I was ready to do it. So I was a teacher. So if you are an educator, or you know an educator, you know how underpaid and underappreciated they are. So having this opportunity to finally be my own boss and control my own time and leverage my own time has been one of my biggest blessings, because I've been able to pour more into my family. So I was honored that they asked me to speak about contacts today. So if you haven't printed your contact sheet, I've got mine printed off. If you haven't done that, you can do that now. And we are going to do this together, so don't get overwhelmed. So a contact list is something that you want to work on daily. So every day I go through my contact list and I make sure that I am reaching out to people on that list. But I'm also adding new people to that list. I don't ever want to run out of people to talk to about this opportunity. Jason has been such an amazing mentor to me and has kind of pushed me out of my comfort zone in a lot of ways and encouraged me to jump on the phone with people. I live in the generation where we do everything through social media or text message or a voice clip or something like that. So he really pushed me to jump on the phone with somebody and talk to them. Of course, I thought I was going to be sick. I've messaged him almost every time I've talked to somebody and said, oh my gosh, they reached right back out to me and I thought I was going to be sick. So my contact list is continually growing. I have to write down who I want to talk to, because if I don't, I'm going to forget. If you're a mom, you understand, and dads too, like life is crazy. We get busy. We forget to do things. I have sticky notes everywhere so that I remember to do things. If I'm driving in the car and I think, oh, I really want to talk to this person about the opportunity, I tell Siri to remind me, because Lord knows I'm not going to make it without Siri, because she has to remind me of everything. So contact lists are important. Make sure you're growing them, make sure you're adding to them and using them. So my online contact source would be my Facebook. I use Facebook. I use Instagram. You can have 5,000 friends on Facebook. That's something that I'm continually working on as well. So I'm making sure that I'm adding new people to my Facebook daily and that I'm deleting. So people always say, how do you know who to delete? People that don't interact with my post, I usually delete. Like, I need room for people that want to either be part of this business with me or help me be successful in this business. So I delete people that are super negative, because I ain't got time for negativity. I try to fill my world with positivity and positive people and like-minded people. So I'm constantly deleting people as I'm adding. So I might add 10 people a day and delete 10 people a day. So that's something that I encourage you to continually be working on as well. So that is my online contact list. My offline contact list is anyone maybe that's in my phone contacts, my family, my friends, people in my community, people that I've done business with before, coworkers, things like that. Those are going to be my offline contact list. If you go into your phone, I looked last night at mine, and if you go in and you go to your contacts and you click the little pound sign, hashtag over on the right-hand side, at the very bottom, it's going to tell you how many contacts you had. I have over 1,300 contacts in my phone. So right there is a great place to start your contact list on your phone, finding people to reach out to and talk about the opportunity. So let's get started on our sheet. So your first column on your sheet is friends. So before we write down a name, I want you to make sure that you are very open-minded about this. Don't eliminate anyone. Just because, my friend Sally is a doctor or an attorney or is very successful, I'm not going to eliminate her as the fact that she doesn't need money, so she's not going to want to do this. Or, you know, somebody else that lives in my neighborhood, I think she's probably not going to be interested in this. You are doing yourself a disservice, and you are robbing people of the opportunity to be successful and be their own boss and be able to enjoy this business as well. So be very open-minded and do not eliminate anyone. I want people that I think, oh, they're super successful. I want them on my team, right? I want them to do this with me. I don't want to exclude them because I think they're too successful. So when you get to your friends section, I'm going to do this with you because, like I said, I'm always looking to update my new contact list. So when you go and you start with friends, so first column is friends. I don't want you to put a lot of thought in this because I sit here and I will think, oh, you know, who. I want you to think of the first person that pops into your mind that you would want to do this business with. Okay, someone that you think you are like-minded with and you want to do this business with. And I want you to write their name down. Okay, so I'm going to write my friend Nikki's name down. Okay, so I have Nikki written down. Now I'm going to think of 9 people that Nikki and I are affiliated with that I want to do this business with also. So 9 people that Nikki and I maybe both know or that we are somehow intertwined with. So I'm going to write those down. So I want you to do this as I'm doing it. And I like to mix it up, men and women. I gotta get a bunch of men in here, you know. They're powerhouses too. And I just want you to write down anybody that you can think of that you'd be associated with. Okay. Guess what? You already have 10 contacts. Way to go. So the first time I looked at this list, I thought, this is a lot of people. But it's really not when you break it down. Okay, so we have 10 people already. Now we're gonna move to family. Now, this is the one where everybody kind of trips up on and is really hesitant about. Family is always, at least for me, it was the scariest people to talk to about this business because I was the closest to them. And I think rejection from them was probably gonna be the hardest. So I want you to think of a family member or someone that you consider your family that you would like to do this business with. And I want you to write their name down. So I'm going to write my cousin Lindsay. I'm going to write her name down. And now we're going to write down 9 more people that we think that we would like, that we know we would love to do this business with, that we're acquainted with. Okay, so we're going to write those down now. Okay, so I have 10 family members written down. I have 20 people on my list already. I mean, this isn't taking us very long at all. So our next column is business. So for business, when I fill out my business section, I think of people in my area that are business owners that are successful, or people that I've worked with either in the school district or, you know, in other areas connecting to that. So think of someone that you've either worked with or is a business owner or entrepreneur in your area that you would want to work with and do this business with. And I want you to write their name down. And then again, we're going to think of 9 people that we are acquainted with that person that we want to bring into this business as well. So we're going to write their names down. And as you can tell, it doesn't take very long to fill out one of these lists. Okay, so now we have 30 people. We have 30 contacts already. So we're moving through this pretty fast. Now the last one is probably my favorite because it's just such a wide variety of people, is your community. So anybody that lives in your community, people you go to church with, people that maybe you are in support groups with, people that your kids play ball with, their parents, anybody in your community can be added to this list. So friends in your community, we can add more friends if we want. So I want you to think of one community member that you would like to do this business with, and I want you to write their name down. I'm going to put my friend Jamie down on this one. And then we're going to think of 9 people to go with that. I'm going to write their names down. Again, I just try to go with the first names that pop into my mind when I think of that person that I think, oh, I really want to do the business with them. Okay, I filled that out pretty fast. So now you have 40 people that you can do the business with, 40 people right here at your fingertips on this piece of paper that you can start contacting today. So I like to pick someone from each group. Maybe whenever I go and start contacting people, I'll pick one from each category. And I send them a voice clip on my messenger, or I just call them if I have their phone number, and I invite them to talk to me about the business. And this is how I've really grown my organization and got to where I am. So contact list, not so scary. Whenever you sit down and you think I have to come up with 40 people just like that, it seems really hard, but it's super simple, and it's going to really help build your business. So that's what I've got on contacts. Jason, I will give it back to you.
Woo, I love it. Yeah, it's always amazing. And guess what? Now I know to ask Carrie about Nikki later today. So I'll look forward to that update. This is what I get to do as an upline. See, I know now she has names, so now I can hold her accountable. I love it. So anyway, thanks, Carrie. I appreciate you stepping up and stepping out of comfort and helping us today. Contacts are huge. So we're gonna spend a quick second. We have a quick translation swap that we're going to be doing. Mr. Rowley is going to take over and start doing translation. So while we're doing that, again, if you need a quick drink of water, get up and down, jump up, down, jump up, down 10 times, say how excited you are, get ready, because the next part we're about to get into is the, once you have that contact list, right? What do you do with it? Well, you got to invite. And as we get into inviting here in just a minute, that's a huge piece of the business. It's super simple to put people's names on a piece of paper, or say, oh yeah, my friend Carrie, I want to call her. And that's something I do want to say. She made a mention about her journey in the business. And listen, guys, everyone's journey is their journey. Because of some different circumstances that have all kind of come together, and the craziness of this business, she was able, and craziness of this world, she was able to exit out of her full-time job and to be able to really focus on Nu Skin. What I wanted to reiterate is that was after a couple of years of very hard, consistent work. Will that happen for everybody? Maybe not. And that's the thing with this business. It is a business, guys. There's no promises of income. There's no promises of full freedom in retirement. Like, if you want a lifestyle most people just talk and dream about, you have to know you're going to have to work and work hard, right? But is it on the table? I think the beautiful thing about this industry, about this business, is the fact that there are no limits. There are no barriers of entry. If you're willing to go for it and to go after your hopes and dreams, they are on the table, but it's not going to be given to you. It's not going to, hey, sign up and, oh my gosh, I won the lottery tomorrow, I'm free. It's a lot of hard work, but is it worth it? Absolutely. I met some of my best friends in the world. The people who have agreed to help today, we're on multiple teams around Nu Skin. but yet we're all great friends. I mean, we could get together and have a really good time together. So that's what's beautiful about this community that we've come together with One Team Global. So with that, I am super excited to introduce our next guest. She is somebody that I actually met again. She just happened to be putting on an event when she used to live in Houston before she met her, honestly, devastatingly handsome husband, who she's now married to. I just like his haircut, so it's cool. And you'll be hearing from him later. But Tracy Baum is going to be joining us and going over inviting. Normally, this is where people freak out. But when you remember that inviting is just inviting, it's no big deal, right? It's not presenting. It's not getting into it. It's just providing or providing. It's just inviting into the business. So I wanted to bring on Tracy, if you are with us. What's up? Yeah, so Tracy, Team Elite, right? She's killing this business. She is somebody with a successful story that, she was one that very simply, when life came up and literally slapped her in the back of the head, she could have said, okay, I'm going to go victim or I'm going to overcome. And this woman has overcome. She's created a magnificent business. She's become just an amazing dear friend that our family loves to death. So I have so much fun working with her, and I'm so excited to be hearing from you today. So Tracy, would you please spend about the next 30 minutes or so going over how do you invite? How have you grown your business? And it starts with inviting people to join it, right?
Yes. Thank you, Jason, so much for the introduction. Hey, everyone. I hope you're having an awesome Saturday so far. My name is Tracy Baum. I'm from Draper, Utah, and I joined Nu Skin. My 3-year anniversary is coming up May 8th, and it has been the most fulfilling thing. My background was oil and gas recruiting, but for the most part, a stay-at-home mom. And Nu Skin came into my life at the exact time that it needed to be, and I was invited. And so I was looking for something to provide for my family at the time. I was going through a divorce, and 8 months later, my ex-husband committed suicide. Left us in a pretty tough spot, but the best part is that Nu Skin provided a foundation for me and my kids. And then 2 years now, been married to Patrick Baum. We met at a Nu Skin event. So not saying that you'll meet your love of your life at a Nu Skin event, but Nu Skin events are super important. So I'm going to talk to you today about inviting, which how many of you just decided one day that you were going to join Nu Skin to be in network marketing, to be an entrepreneur? If you're on this the Zoom, put a 1 in there so we know if you just woke up one day and decided to join. But for the most part, I think most of us were invited somehow. And I actually came in through a shout out as well, and it was through the Tanner. And when I went to go pick it up, found out there was toothpaste, went to get more toothpaste for my friends and family, and she invited me. My sponsor invited me. She had the courage to say, hey, you should do this, because if you love something that much that you're coming back to buy 5 more tubes of toothpaste for your friends and family, you should do this. So she kept it very simple. Okay, so I want you to remember KISS. Write this down, KISS. Keep it super simple, right? Because you're going to find out today that inviting and presenting, just like Jason said, are 2 different things. We don't invite and present at the same time. So when you're inviting someone, don't get so excited that you say, hey, oh my gosh, I'm so excited about this thing, Nu Skin. And all you do is, copy, paste, post, and you're online, and you should do this with me. And do you want to sign up right now? And you go into your whole story. People are going to be like, what? So keep it super simple when you're inviting. Her words to me were, you should do this. So the things I want to cover today, number one, is who are we inviting to this opportunity? And I want you to think before you start getting super nervous, because we're going to do this together. I'm going to show you some things and talk about some things, but that contact list that you just made, we're going to call some of those people, okay, together. You're going to get on and do this with me. That's what this is. That's why this is a workshop, okay? So the people that you're inviting are your customers, your friends and family, utilizing social media, your stories, looking at good profiles, and then we're also inviting referrals. If you're doing referrals, which is how I built my entire organization, is through referrals, you're going to invite them. So before you get all sweaty and you get real nervous, I want you to take the pressure off of yourself and get to a place where when you were invited, I want you to think about, and if you're completely new, if this is your first time, I want you to think about when you were invited, how excited you were to think of the future and what this can provide for you. For those that have been in this a little bit longer, I want you to think about what Nu Skin has provided for you and your family. The fulfillment, the joy, the money's good, but we all know that the fulfillment that we get of watching others rise up is what makes us keep going, right? So we have to invite. I mean, you can set some goals and you can create a contact list, but we're not going to build our organization and reach those goals that we have to become Team Elite and go on these success trips and have the life of abundance that we all deserve. So we've got to get out of our comfort zones, because as we know, there is no growth in comfort zones. So take the pressure off, sit back, take a deep breath. Before I invite, I like to play my favorite song so that I'm pumped up, I'm smiling, and I'm ready to go. Okay, you don't want to get on an inviting blitz and be like, hey, so I have this opportunity and I really think you should do this with me. Nobody's going to join that way, right? So I'm going to give you some tips and tricks that'll help you when you invite. So something that our team does and a lot of other teams are doing that they're finding a lot of success in is inviting blitz, okay? And that is where you can pick time. And the great thing about what we do with Nu Skin is most people are currently working, right? They work their full-time jobs and they do this on the side so that they can eventually have Nu Skin as their full-time jobs. So you have to break time or make time, block time for your inviting, because to me, this is the most important piece of our business. So when you get up in the morning, or let's just say you only have 30 minutes out of your whole day to invite, break it down. Do 5 or 6 calls in the morning and then 5 or 6 at night or on your lunch break. You can do that. So I'm going to show you some things that we can do. But some of the things that you want to ask yourself is, do I have something to offer this person that I'm inviting to the business? And the answer is yes. We have amazing products that work. They're backed by science. But the most amazing product that I love is the opportunity. That is the product that I want to invite people to. I love the toothpaste. I love the tanner. I mean, this morning I got ready and I think I used over 30 different products in a couple of hours. So, and the tools that you have to invite people are, you can use text, you can use voice clips in Messenger, which is my favorite, and we're going to do that today, or you can just straight up call people. Now, online and offline are the same thing. You still have to use your beautiful voice to invite people to this life-changing opportunity. And now is the time. The liquid collagen that's coming out is going to be so amazing that you don't want to miss the opportunity to bring people into this. So, all right, so here are the people that I like to invite, like for instance, our friends. Have you invited your best friend to the business? Have you invited your husband? I mean, literally, I love doing this business with my husband. And there are some people, Jason and Vanessa, Leata and her husband, there's so many people that are coupled with their husbands that are doing this together. Invite them. Just say, you know, I want to do this with you. So the first person that I invited to the business was my best friend, Stacy Aguilera. And most people would be afraid of that, right? Like, oh, what is she going to say? It should be the opposite. It should be, I am so excited about this opportunity that I want to share it with everybody. So KISS, right? Keep it super simple. And with your friends, the invitation is going to be a little bit easier, right? Because it can just be a quick phone call. Hey girl, listen, I just joined this company and I am so excited about what's happening. I'm building my dream team. I want you on it. When can we chat? So when I do my inviting, I never leave the last question with, do you want to chat? My question is, when can we chat? Your posture is super important when how you leave your message. So you can also leave a couple of options for them to choose, like, are you available this evening or does tomorrow work better? So that when they hear this invitation, the last thing they hear is options of, oh, I need to talk to her. Like she is telling me I need to talk to her, instead of asking, do you want to chat? So keep that in mind. So if you have your phones, like if you're on your computer and you want to voice record this so that you can have it later, please do that now. I'm going to leave you a couple of voice clips. And then I'm going to do some voice clips myself. And then I'm going to give us a few minutes for you to pick that contact list. You've got some friends, you've got your community, you've got business, and you have family. Each of you are going to make some calls today. So I want you to get ready. I want you to just blow it out and be ready, because this is not scary. And if you're scared of the no, I tell my team, go for no, because the more no's that you get is just bringing you closer to that yes. And I like getting the no's, because then I don't want you on my team. I want people that when they hear my excitement, or they're in a place in their life where they are done with where they're at, they're not unhappy. They're just, I'm uncomfortable with where I'm at in my life and I need to be better. I want those people that go, you know what, I should at least just listen, because we all did. Our invitation, we listened, and it has been the most fulfilling thing in our lives. So here's a voice clip you can leave to a friend. Hey, Sally, I've been wanting to call you, but was nervous. And you've been on my mind. And I wanted to see if you'd be open to an invitation to talk about something I think would really bless your life. Are you free tonight or tomorrow? Okay, so that's a friend, maybe someone that you're not real close with. Again, your friends that you consider family, that's a more relaxed conversation, right? Hey, listen, I need to talk to you. I have the most exciting thing going on. I need to talk to you. When are you free? Tonight, tomorrow, right? So it's a little bit more relaxed. Customers. Now, all of us we're socially selling, or we're selling to our friends and family, and you probably have some sort of customer log, right? These are great because then you can go back and leave voice clips with your customers. What better invitation than somebody who loves your product, right? So when you are in Messenger, which is a great place to leave voice clips, or if you're just messaging, you know, hey, Sally, wanted to check in and see how's the toothpaste going. And if she says, I love it, there are two invitations you can have. You can go straight for the opportunity, or you can invite them to do a referral post for you. I love referral posts because that is giving them an invitation to do what we do. But don't leave it there just with them posting for you. As soon as that post goes up, next phone call needs to be the invitation to the business. Okay, so this is what I like to leave for people who say they'll do a shout out. I don't care if the shout out has gone bonkers or if it only has one comment. Hey, Sally, you just did that referral post for me. Thank you so much. By the way, your friend Jessica already wants it. And you already do what I do. I just share these products with my friends and family on Facebook. Would love to have you on the team. By the way, it's completely free. Can we chat tonight or tomorrow? How simple is that, right? Kiss, keep it super simple. Okay, and then so another way you can leave a message with a customer is, hey, Sally, thank you so much for being a customer, but did you know that you can make money using these products? I am free tomorrow after 5. Let's chat. Okay, next is our social media. If you are on social media, which most of us are, I love, like I said, I love people doing the referrals for me because it's so simple. But another way that you can ask for people to join or ask for shout outs is through stories. We're all on stories now. And if you're not, you need to get into the stories. This is a great way to engage with people. Now, please take this advice. Do not just send cold messages. We are not in the business of cold calling people. You will get X'd out really, really quick. So the way that you do that is warm it up, okay? When you're in stories and you send a message to someone that says, oh my gosh, I love that dress. Where did you get it, right? Because you want to have open-ended questions for them to respond back. And they send a message back to you says, I got it at Dillard's. Now it's warm, right? Do that for a couple of times, maybe a week. And then, only then, if you like their profile, if they're putting up stories and they're taking selfies, leave a voice clip. Hey girl, I love your social presence that you have. Your stories are great. Your profile is beautiful. You're already taking selfies, which is what I do. And I share these amazing products with my friends and family. This is completely free. Would love to tell you more about how I'm making money from my phone. When are you available? Tonight or tomorrow? It's a great way to get people into the business. But again, if you don't want to go for the opportunity, ask them to do a shout out and maybe they can get a free product. Okay, so I've got, how much time do I have? I got 12 minutes left. So I'm going to do a few voice clips and then we're going to get yours going. Okay, so my first voice clip that I'm going to do is with the girl that I used to work with. So what a great way to leave messages with people that you know, right? And I think where we get scared is the fear that maybe we think they don't need this. And that's a huge no-no. As soon as you start thinking with the word I, for instance, if someone comes to your mind that you think would be good at this, call them. Don't wait. Because the longer you wait, your mind is going to start saying, well, I bet she makes enough money. I bet she's happy at her job. I bet she doesn't have time. And so now you just made it about you and not about them. So if you take you out of the equation and you make it about them, it's not hard, right? This is not hard. Digging a ditch is hard, but picking up the phone and inviting people to this opportunity to have a better life, that's not hard. It's actually pretty simple. So I'm gonna leave a message with this girl that I used to work with a long time ago, and she's had a baby, and I think that she'd be really good at this. So, and I haven't talked to her in a long time. And so sometimes, I still get nervous. I'm nervous right now, thinking, oh my gosh, what if I fumble over my words? But you know what? If you do, don't send the voice clip. Make a new one, okay? All right. Hey, Christina, it's Tracy. It's been way too long. I saw your birthday was last week, so I hope you had a happy birthday. But hey, listen, I'm not sure if you've seen what I've been doing on social media with my online biz, but I think that you'd be really good at this. I want to tell you about it. When can we chat? I am free tonight or tomorrow in the afternoon. All right, girl, look forward to hearing from you. Have a blessed day. Bye. 28 seconds, okay? So the next girl, we became Facebook friends probably about a year ago, and she just lost her husband. So one of the things that I like to tell people sometimes is it's great to have a plan B, because if I didn't have a plan B, I don't know where I'd be. And so maybe this was a plan B for you. And this has completely changed your life. Let's let this happen for other people. Let it change their life too. Okay, my timer keeps going off. All right. Hey, Hallie, it's Tracy. Hey, hope you're doing well on this Saturday morning. Listen, I've been thinking about you and the situation that just happened with you, and I know that you know my past. And I was so grateful that this business fell into my lap and I had a plan B. You're already on Facebook. I see you with your beautiful children, and I would love to tell you how I'm making money from my phone by just simply sharing these products with friends and family. Let me know when you're available. I am free this evening or sometime later in the afternoon tomorrow. Look forward to hearing from you. Take care. Have a great Saturday. Bye-bye. And that was 44 seconds, so it's under a minute. All right, now this lady is, okay, so that was some invitations of friends, okay? Now I'm gonna go into customers. All right, I got 8 minutes. Okay, I'm good on time. Okay, so this girl bought a tanner from me, and she actually owns a boutique. There we go. And her name's Tracy. Hey, Tracy, it's Tracy with New Skin. Hope you're doing well. Hey, listen, tanner is super hot, and not sure if you need a refill, but that's not why I'm calling today. I wanted to see if you and I can have a conversation about you joining my team. Right now is a great time to get started. It's completely free, and I'm pretty sure you still own your boutique, and I think this would do really well in your boutique. I have quite a few boutique owners that carry these products. Anyway, look forward to hearing from you. Let me know if you're available. I can get on a phone call tonight or tomorrow later in the afternoon. All right, Tracy, thanks. Look forward to hearing from you. Bye. Okay, another important thing about inviting is you need to smile. When you're smiling, it just comes across way better, right? Instead of, hey, Tracy, I wanted to see if you're available to talk tomorrow about these products. Or, hey, Tracy, I wanted to see if you're available tomorrow to talk about these products. It works. And while you're talking to people, one of the things that's in the scrolls is to say, I love you. So before you get on, just think, I love you to that person. And it just makes everything better, right? If you're going into this with, I love you, it just makes it so much easier because we are coming from a place of love. The New Skin heart is all love. Okay, so this next message I'm going to leave is with we used to work together, but she is on social media, always like selfies and taking pictures. And I've invited her to the business before, but she said no. But I'm going to ask her if we can have a conversation about who she knows. Some of your invitations, guys, doesn't have to be necessarily for them to come into the business. Maybe you can ask them, can I set up a time with you to talk about who you know? Because you have social influence. So this may not be for you, but who do you know that would be good at this? So I'm going to leave a message with her, and then get ready. I'm going to stop talking. Well, I'll do a few more while you're doing yours. So get your contact list ready, or even better, I want you to go for your chicken list. Go for that chicken list of somebody that when you started this business, you were like, ooh, she'd be good at this. But then every day, for some reason, you don't call. And every day, that person could be praying for an opportunity for something life-changing, and you're over here holding it. Don't hang on to it. Let's release it, okay? All right, so, and she's actually in Instagram. Okay. So just so y'all know, I'm still nervous doing this, okay? And nerves don't mean anything but that you're excited, okay? So take those nerves as excitement, that you're excited to share this. And if you mess up, that's okay. We're human. You're human, they're human. Maybe it'll be even better that you look nervous, okay? All righty, let's see here. Okay. Hey, Addie, it's Tracy. I hope you're doing well. Hey, listen, I've been watching your stuff on Facebook now for so long. Your pictures are absolutely beautiful. Your stories are amazing. You're always traveling. I know this isn't for you because I invited you before, but I wanted to see if there's anyone in your circle of influence that you think would be good at this. I'm not sure if you've seen what I'm posting about my beauty products, but I'm looking for someone like you. I want someone who loves social media and that would be really, really good at this, someone who's excited, and maybe somebody who wants some money. So let me know if you and I can set up a time to chat so we can see who is in your circle of influence, who'd be good at this. All right, enjoy your Saturday. Thanks, bye-bye. Okay, and then I wanna point out two things. The last workshop that I did, and when I did inviting, one of the people that I called, she's now on my team. Julie, who's going to present, she did inviting and they signed up and is now a brand rep. Oh my gosh, it works. All right, so, and here's one more thing I'm going to tell you. On your way to work, I'm going to give you an example. Go to your people and you can see, if you go to people, you can see who is active, okay? It's at the very top. It says active. If they're green, leave a message. Hey girl, I'm on my way to work right now, but you came across my heart this morning and I had to leave you this message. Not sure if you've seen what I'm doing on Facebook with this online beauty business. I'm building my dream team. I want you on it. When can we chat? I'm free tonight or tomorrow. I look forward to hearing from you. Bye. Leave that message with people who are on. Hey, Jennifer, I see you're on Facebook right now. I would love to tell you about what I've been doing with this on sharing these products with my friends and family, and it's free. I want to tell you about it. Are you free tonight or tomorrow? Done. Okay, are y'all ready? I can't see anybody, so I don't know if y'all are ready, but we have a minute and a half. I want you to invite 3 people on your list right now. Babe, get your phone and you do it. Go to see who's active right now. All right. Okay, while you're doing yours, I'm gonna do one on my chicken list. So I hope you're calling right now because we've got a minute and 30 seconds. I wanna show you how fast it can go. You've got, because these clips are 30 seconds. Let's go, all right? This girl's on my chicken list. So mute me if you have to, leave your voice clips right now, all right? And then I want you to put in the comments that you did it, that you're still alive, that you didn't fall over and die. You might have thrown up, but that's okay. All right, this girl, she's on my chicken list. I saw her at the gym, and I don't think she wants to do this, but I want to talk to her. Hey, Chrissy, it's Tracy. Hey, listen, I'm so nervous about leaving this message, but I'm going to do it anyway, because when I saw you at the gym the other day, it just reminded me of the kind of people I want on my team. And I know you mentioned that you don't want to do sales, but I know you're connected with good people because you're a good person. Is there a time that you and I can set up a time to chat about what I'm doing with this business? You've used the tanner, you use the toothpaste, so I know you love the products. I want to see if there's anyone in your circle of influence that would be good at this. Okay, so that's done. My nerves are not as bad now. Anyway, all right, well, let me know when we can talk. I would love to get a coffee or lunch with you. All right, Christy, enjoy your Saturday. Thanks, bye. All right, so if you didn't like the message, delete it, start over. Okay, hopefully y'all got a few calls in. Jason, that's all I got for my inviting. I'm still a little nervous, pumped up, but I hope everybody got something out of it.
but you made it and you're still alive. Yeah, guys, thank you so much, Tracy. Appreciate you. You know, it's always funny how most people put such a crazy thing about it. And just like she said, but if you totally screw it up, what I do, I make a joke about it. It's like, oh my gosh, man, I can't believe what I just said to you. But I just flip it on that and be like, look, I'm super excited about talking with you. Or delete. I mean, my gosh, what's the worst the worst case scenario? Delete it, right? Like you're not gonna die. And one thing that's super important that Tracy had made mention of is your nerves, right? Like I'm bad with my team about sometimes volunteering them to speak without asking them if they'll do it. And so I've been backstage with some of my team, and they're the first time they're about to speak on stage, and they're just freaking out. I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous. I said, no, you're excited. It's almost the exact same emotion. It's just how are you doing? Like, how are you viewing it? Are you saying you're nervous? Or are you saying you're excited? And then you start saying how excited you are. That comes through in your voice. People are attracted to excitement. They want to be a part of it. And especially in today's world, think about it. How many people are going to be drawn to a positive, exciting, uplifting environment versus all the negative crap they're hearing everywhere else, right? So let's be that. Be excitement. Be that people that just want to really just attach to that. So anyway, next we are going to, what do you do after they say, yeah, let's hook up, right? What do you do next, right? You have to present the business. And that's what it's all about. And I want you to think about that too, whether you're looking for product users or business partners, what bait are you using? If you're only talking product all the time, which I get it, it's fun, it's safe, it's easy, you can feel it, taste it, smell it, right? It's, you're going to get a lot of product users. But ultimately, I know for me, I wanted to build a business. I wanted business partners. So I had to fish with that business bait, right? I had to talk the business. And so when you're presenting, I always think that there's room for everything, right? Where you can talk both sides and really show them exactly what's on the table. And then at the end of the day, do you see this as a business? Do you see this as just a product user, right? Where are they at in their time of their life? So next presenter is Tracy's better half. Any trouble saying that? Better half? More attractive half? No, I'm just playing. Patrick Baum is going to be joining us. He's a guy that, man, he's become like a brother to me in the business, and we have a lot of fun and laughs together throughout. Stayed at his house multiple times. We broke bread at many of occasions, and it's been some really impactful conversations throughout the years that I'm hyper. I just feel blessed to have you in my life, man. So thank you so much for joining. It's always fun to hear you and hear your perspective. I'll never forget the first time I heard your story, and it made such an impact of what this business could really do for those that take action, work really hard, and then when life kind of changes, you're able to pivot and take care of life, right? And to have that kind of lifestyle. So Pat, Tracy set the stage with inviting the people. Now, what do you do after they have accepted the invite? You got to present it, right? So if you'll take it away for us, man, and show us how to present, that'd be awesome.
Oh, right, Jason. Wow. Not only did she set the stage, I mean, now you guys know why. Okay. I mean, for the billion reasons that I had to marry her, that's just a bonus. The fact that she's so amazing in this business. So I've never seen anyone work so hard in my life. And she is an example for everybody out there. So if you guys just do exactly what she says, I can promise you'll see success. In fact, what's crazy is she just handed me her phone and she said, oh my gosh, look at this. And one of the people she reached out to just reached back to her. So I'm going to read this to you so you understand, that these work, right? So this was the lady that she reached out to that had lost her husband. And she just got this message back, and she said, "Oh, sweet Tracy, you are a millennial sister. Yes, tomorrow morning works for me, and I look forward to chatting with you, Sunshine. Thank you so much." And then she goes on, and so it works, right? a simple invite, just and she gets a reply. And then now she will be able to present what we have with this amazing business. Okay, so like Jason said, you know, I've been with this company for 17 years, actually last month. And when I first started with Nu Skin, it was, I'd been approached 6 times. And it was on the 6th time that someone got me where I was at 12 o'clock. Okay. And so you never want to stop inviting. And even though like Tracy invited some people, the last person she invited, she had already invited once. However, it doesn't mean you want to like, you know, be so persistent that you're going to bug them. No, that's not what we're doing at all. In fact, the exact opposite. However, you can always reach out and just say, hey, you know, have things changed? And for me, it was the 6th person that came to me and said, hey, you got to take a look at what's going on with Nu Skin. And I had been approached so many times before. I knew a little bit about Nu Skin. I knew what they did. However, no one had actually ever come to me and asked me what I wanted. They had always come to me with the approach of, hey, you should sell this product, or I want you to use my product, or, you know, I want you to put, you know, these products in your gyms. And at that time I was running a health club, managing health clubs, and that's what I did. I loved what I did. However, I was always looking for something better. And in the back of my mind, I made some good money. However, I did not have leverage. I had no financial leverage in my life, and I did not have any time flexibility. That's for sure. In fact, the reason why I left the company was because I couldn't take vacation when I wanted to take vacation. And there was an ultimatum laid down that said, if you take this vacation, you're probably not going to have a job very much longer. And guess what I did? I said, you know what? I am so done. I took the vacation. And I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know how it was going to turn out. But I said, you know what? I know there's something better out there. And it was about a year later, a friend of mine came to me and she said, hey, you got to take a look at what's going on with Nu Skin. And I said, you know, I will. I've been approached several times. And I said, you know, but what's it going to do for me? And so I started talking with her and, you know, my now upline, and he painted a picture for me of leverage, how he had created leverage in his life. And he presented his story about what Nu Skin had done for him. And when I heard his story and several other stories, because then I was invited after that, after my first invitation, I was invited then to come to a presentation at a Team Elite University. And I watched several people walk across the stage and share their stories about where they were. And they presented in a fashion that attracted me to this business because I saw that they created leverage. I saw that they had time flexibility. And so I said, you know what, I'm in. And I jumped in and we worked really hard and I followed the system. What you guys are learning today is our system, right? And, you know, it got to the point where after about 3.5 years, we were building the business took on a mind of its own. And it wasn't about me anymore. There was leverage being created. Now, we worked really hard during that time to get to that point. However, it started to grow and compound. And a friend of mine came to me about 3.5 years into my business and he said, hey, I'm going to Nepal. I know you love to climb, so let's go over and climb some mountains next to Mount Everest. And I said, I'm in. And he goes, well, the thing is though, is that you are gonna have to take off 6 weeks of work. And I looked around and I said, I have no one to respond to. So, you know, I don't have to ask for time off. And so I said, I'm in. And for the first time ever, I was able to just leave. And those 6 weeks turned into 3 years of traveling around the world. I think it was like 25, 26 different countries. I was having a blast. In the meantime, I'm building my business while I'm creating this leverage in my life and this time flexibility that I have. I was building the business. And here's one of the best parts is I was, you know, had that availability to choose what I wanted to do, when I wanted to do it. And so that was really special for me. Now, 11 years ago, my daughter was born. And all of a sudden, my life shifted completely. And it's what Jason was kind of talking about, to where, you know, I was able to spend every single minute the last 11 years with her. I didn't have to go into work. I didn't have to ask for time off because I was in charge of my own life. I created my own business. And it was incredible. And we've lived this life that's just been, to me, has just been unbelievable. And now my goal is to share that with as many people as possible. I want as many people as possible to live the life that I've been able to experience. And what's even better is there's still more. There are more goals to reach. There are more, more pin titles, everything to go. And so now the best part, okay, there's always more best parts. And I keep saying best part because it's growing. And we're going to talk about this in a minute. The best part is that, 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago, 2 years and 25 months ago, I met Tracy at a Nu Skin event, and we became friends. And after about 6 or 7 months, we started dating, and we were married last August. And now we get to do this business together. She has her business, I have my business, but we're doing it together. We love it, and it's amazing. So that's my story. And I hope you guys understand that, everyone's story is different. But the one common factor that we all have in our business is that we are all invited and we were all presented to, okay? Someone went through these steps to attract us, each and every single one of us, into this business. And so I'm going to share my screen with you real quick here. All right. Okay. And all right, so this is us right here. All right, so I'm just gonna go past this. And this is us getting married there last August. It was super special. We were able to invite about 30 of our friends to a secluded location, and it was incredible. So we made 2020 the best year of our lives. Okay, so when you're doing the business and you're going through the flow, okay, the workflow, and you're inviting and you're about ready to present, okay, people are asking you 2 questions. They're always asking you 2 questions. One question is, can I do this? Or they're thinking these questions. Can I do this? Okay. So as you're presenting, you have to remember that. Can I do this? All right. Now, and the other question they're always asking themselves is, how can I do this? All right. And so it's really important that we use the tools in our business to present. And you might be asking, well, why? Why is it important to use the tools? Well, because if we use the tools, these questions can be answered. Okay, if I were to go and this business was all about me and I did all the presenting, I had all the knowledge in my brain, the people are going to be going, oh, I'm not like Patrick. I don't know what he knows, or I'm not a scientist, or, I'm not good at social media, or, I'm a quiet person. I don't talk like he does. I mean, and on, okay? So using the tools to present is super important, so they can go and their mind will shift to be like, oh my gosh, I think I can do this. Patrick didn't know about, he knew about it. Patrick just introduced me or directed me to where I could get the information and get my questions answered in the process. So we always ask, and then how, okay? And that's using the system. If we use the system to present, okay, then they will be like, oh, well, I know how to do it now because Patrick did it with me, so then I can just do the same thing, all right? So remember, everyone's thinking those 2 questions, all right? So, and we're gonna go on more into that. Now, when we're presenting, we're always telling 2 stories, okay? We are telling the Nu Skin story, and we are telling our personal story. And we do those in 2 different times when we're presenting, okay? And when we talk about the Nu Skin story, we're presenting about the company and the trends. We're presenting about the products, all right? We love the products. And we're also presenting, which in my case, I was presented with how I could create financial leverage in my life and time flexibility in my life, okay? And so that was super important. And then we're also presenting about why now. Okay, now that's the Nu Skin story, and we present that all the time in the exposures and what we're doing, because the Nu Skin story is really important for people to see the bigger picture. How we attract people to listen to the Nu Skin story a lot of times comes by telling our personal story. Okay, and we present our personal story along our journey in Nu Skin like a lot of different times. Okay, now your personal story always starts like this. Okay, I'm going to keep track of time here. So I want you to write down here your personal story, and this is where the workshop's going to come in. Okay, I want you to write down on your paper name, okay, and where you're from. There's 5 key points in your personal story. And why do we want to always present your story? Well, because that is how we attract people into the business. Okay, people relate to people. And so if I can talk to someone and share my story and present to them my story, then I can continue on to present the business. Because at first they're going to come and they're going to want to know, well, again, can I do this? Okay, and how? And if you tell your story, you're able to present your story in a way that's attractive to them, then you'll be able to continue on and keep presenting on the exposure time, on the exposure flow. Okay, so real quickly, this takes literally a minute. Okay, so we're going to workshop this real quick. I want you to write your name down, and I want you to write where you're from. Literally 5 seconds to do the 2 first steps of your story, right? We looked at the story, name, where you're from. Okay, now your background, another 15 seconds to write this down. What did you used to do? Well, I used to run health clubs. Okay, boom. Hi, my name is Patrick Baum. I'm from Draper, Utah, and my background is in business. I used to run health clubs for a living. Okay, boom. Okay, why Nu Skin? Okay, this is going to take 30 seconds to write down, right? What was it for you? Why were you searching for Nu Skin? Okay, you can write this down right now while I'm talking. For me, it was, I was looking for leverage in my life. I had no leverage. I had no financial leverage. I had no time flexibility. And I was searching for something that would give me that. Boom, that's simple. Now, as you go in your journey, these things are you can expand on them, right? But in the beginning, it's that simple. My name's Patrick Baum from Draper, Utah. My background is in business. I used to run health clubs for a living. I had no leverage in my life. I had no time flexibility. And so I was looking for something that could give me that, okay? I found Nu Skin 15, 17 years ago, and it has completely changed my life. The best part is I now have that. I now have time flexibility in my life. I now have leverage in my life. Okay. And so boom, you write down the best part for you. Okay. Give you a couple seconds to do that. Okay. Make it simple. Okay. It doesn't have to be this long, elaborate story. In fact, you want to be able to tell this story in about 30 seconds to 1 minute. Okay. All right. I'll give you a couple more seconds to do that. Okay. All right. Now I want you to read it to whoever is in front of you. I want you to read it to them. Okay. So if you're sitting next to your spouse or your kids, whoever you're next to, go ahead and read it. So, hi, my name is Patrick Baum. I'm from Draper, Utah. My background is in business. I used to run health clubs for a living. Why Nu Skin for me? Well, it's because I was looking for financial leverage in my life and time flexibility to where I could, choose how I wanted to live my life. And the best part is now I do own my life. I'm able to go where I want to go. I'm able to do what I want to do. I'm building this business with my wife. It's incredible. We have so much fun together. And our goal now is to share with as many people as possible. That's my story, 30 seconds, okay? Now you can create your story, and the more you tell it, the better it's gonna be, okay? So because we're gonna present your story all the time. Okay, so I'm gonna move on. We present with the tools, okay? So, I just was told to slow down, so I'm sorry to the translators. You get so excited, right? You get so excited about this business. I love it so much. So, okay. So we present with the tools. And one of the important things that we got to remember is that we always use the tools to present. All right. Okay, and Jason, I'm getting a little bit of feedback. I don't know if someone's not muted, just FYI. So, okay, so we present with the tools. So what are some of the tools we use to present? Well, there's the business overview. Okay, you can go and look up that to the business overview that you and your team are using. Usually it's about a 5-minute overview that goes over what? Those 5 key points of the company's story. Okay, you can also do a 3-way call, okay, with your upline where they're going to present. So after the invitation happens, you're going to be like, hey, oh my gosh, I want to get you on a call with my coach. They're helping me start my business. And they're going to go over a little bit about what you just saw in that business overview and maybe answer any questions for you. Okay, so you're presenting with that tool. Okay, there's Zoom calls that we're going to use. Invite them to the Zoom calls. Okay, a product demo. It's awesome. You can even do product demos virtually now. It's so cool. All right. Okay, TUs, conventions, shout outs, Facebook Live, stories, groups, and much more. The important thing that you understand is that we're always using the tools to present, because then it goes back to them where they can go, oh my gosh, I can do this. I can present. I don't need to know everything because Patrick used these tools to show me how to do it. Okay, now we got a couple minutes left and we're going to workshop the action plan for presenting. All right. Now, what's great is Tracy talked to you about, your invitations. So I'm going to go through right now, and we're going to talk about, mapping out your action plan. So this is a work week, right? Monday through Saturday, we take 1 day off a week. At least that's what I always push to my team. You want 1 day for yourself, so you can arrange this however you want. And we're going to present. Now, you're going to want to write your goals down for every day. How many people are you going to present to? Okay. Now, Tracy talked about inviting, right? So you might need to invite to 10, 15, 20 people to get your goal on Monday of presenting to 5. Okay, so you got to get your goals in accordance with your inviting. Okay, but you're going to want to write that down. This next Monday, I am going to do 5 invites. So that's what I'm writing down here. I'm going to do 5 invites on Monday. Okay. All right. And on Tuesday, on Tuesday, I got a lot going on. So I'm going to do 4 because I only have like 5 hours during that whole day. So I'm going to do 4 on Tuesday. And on Wednesday, I want to do another 5. And then Thursday, I'm going to do 5. And my goal is try to do 5 every day. Okay. 5 presentations a day. Well, okay, and then Saturday, I'm going to try and fit 1 in because I have an event going on. So I'm going to do 1. Okay, so writing that down. Okay, so now I have my target, right? What it is. So you guys write your target down. Okay, if you don't write your target down, then you don't have anything to shoot for. Okay, your inviting will become on part of this action plan. Now, if you use this action plan, it's like, Nick talked about goals. It's another goal that we have. How many people am I going to present to? How many people am I going to invite so I can get a presentation? Because the invitation is important, as you saw Tracy go through them, but the presentation is what puts them into action in our business. So have your target each day, how many people you're going to present the business to using those tools we talked about. And I'm out of time, so I'm going to turn the time back over to you, Jason. I'm going to stop sharing my screen here, and we are going to go from there. Okay.
All right.
I didn't want to go over, so it's good. I'm done.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys so much. And remember, one of the big points of that, right? If you think about what's important about your story and or the story of Nu Skin, and it's that stories, they tell it, right? Like facts will tell, but stories are what really sell. It's that combined testimony. Maybe your story relates to somebody else. Maybe there's somebody like with Tracy's story who, was going through a divorce and then ended up having a spouse passing away, and she had these kids. What do I do? Maybe it was Carrie's story where she was, a very unappreciated teacher, and she didn't know how she was going to do it. How is she going to continue to, provide while, different things were going on in her life? Or maybe it was like me. I mean, I had multiple businesses. I was crazy uh, financially. I was okay, but I was not a present dad, and I wanted the ability to be present with my kids. Right? There's so many ways that we're going to relate to different people, and that's what presenting. Facts are great, but sometimes we will get so caught up in the facts of Nu Skin versus the story of Nu Skin, or your story. And shared testimonials are powerful. If you think about one of the greatest storytellers ever, right? Jesus. Why was he so able to connect? He was a masterful storyteller, right? He used those parables and those stories. So guys, we are going to switch translators real quick, and then we're going to have
Productores,
our
rápidamente.
last three
Así que
segments
vamos a tener
getting in. So guys, we have about an hour, probably a little bit less. So hang in there. You're doing great. Again, as we're switching, if you need to jump up and down, get some energy in you. I don't know about you, but I was writing down some notes while I was shoving food in my mouth during Patrick's presentation, because I was getting hungry. So, hey, working lunch, right? That's what we do. So again, our next presenter, after, again, you invite somebody out, and sometimes that might be an invite where you might invite them 2, 3, 4 times before they accept the invite. And then you present to them, right? You're talking to them about the business. You kind of present what your intention was to present to them on that day. And then we're going to get into what's next. You got to follow up, right? You have to get to that next point where you follow up. Now, listen, guys, this is where the business, I don't want to say where it starts, but it is a massively, I can't even say that word big enough, massively important part of the business. And it's where kind of the rubber meets the road, honestly, because most people don't follow up, or they might once, but statistically, it might take 4 or 5, right? And follow up is just continuing that conversation. And I think the beautiful thing I've always loved about Nu Skin is there's always a reason to follow up. There's always a new product, a new opportunity, a new success trip, a new, right? And so one of my friends, I'm all the way down here in Texas. My friend is joining me from Canada. Completely different scenery around here, but one of the best in the business as far as follow-ups is my good friend, Julie Langhorne. She is going to share with us about following up. How do you follow up, and how do you make that an integral part of your business to really accelerate your business? So Julie, would you please come on, just share your brief story with us, and please inform us how to invite like the rock star that you are.
Thank you, Jason. Oh my goodness. I'm very, very grateful. Thank you so much for this opportunity. It's always an honor to be asked to speak. And I just want to get somebody to let me know if you can see me on my end. It's not changing the speaker view. So we're good. Thanks, Jason. Okay. Just never know with technology, right? Okay, so I'm going to screen share here for a moment. It looks like the translators are still having some issues in the back there. So that gives me a second to set up. Okay, come on, computer. All right, so this is me. Blue Diamond in the business. I've been with Nu Skin for 14 years, and I'm so excited to have this topic today because I feel like I have learned from the best in the business. My dad, Alex, and my stepmother, Joan Bureau. I've watched them do follow-up for 23 plus years in this industry, 14 with Nu Skin. And my stepmother in particular has had this uncanny ability to take copious notes on people and keep it organized and be able to follow up so well that, they've had customers and I've had customers in this business for 14 years that are on subscription for life. And it has to do with giving good follow-up. So I'm sure you guys have heard the term, the fortune is in the follow-up, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. Okay, so I just wanted to give you a little bit about my story, just throwing some visuals up here as I'm chatting. My background is actually in personal training and nutrition consulting. I have a master's degree in science and absolutely loved the personal face-to-face one-on-one working with people where I felt like I was actually helping them transform their lives. What I didn't like were the really inefficient hours, long hours. I don't mind long hours, but with gaps of time, and I wasn't leveraging my income. It was all, if I was in front of somebody at that moment, I was getting paid. And if I wasn't getting paid. I didn't get vacation pay. There were no sick days. So I was introduced to the concept of leverage through my parents, and it just made sense. I jumped into this business when I had a 6-month-old baby, and I don't even think when she was born, I was on Facebook. It was shortly thereafter, but I started to just use social media the way many people would use social media, and got to the Lapis position and stayed there. I was the classic Lapis land for many years. Well, I enjoyed being a stay-at-home mom and got really busy with that. And about 5 years ago, I started really paying attention to what was going on with this business on social media and the opportunity. And I'm so glad that we did, because it really got us into a perfect position for this past year and what we've been experiencing. So very, very blessed to be doing what I'm doing now. And I do this very full time and have an amazing team. And I want to say congratulations to everybody, because last night was another amazing end of month. And yes, in where I live in Eastern Standard Time, we were up till after 2 a.m. finishing up month end. Always exciting.
Hey, Julie.
Yes.
The translator's a first timer.
Yes.
So she's having a little bit of hard time keeping up.
My goodness. And I thought I was talking slower.
Do it awesome.
Okay. I don't know if I'm going to get done this in 19 minutes then. Okay, I'm going to try to go slower, and please do not hesitate to remind me again. Okay, I'm going to fast forward here. So I always like to put a plug in for System 7, One Team Global. This is what we're all about. This is the system that we teach. And this is the system that we teach all around the world, no matter where you are. If you are a part of the OTG system, this is what we use as our Bible. And so today I'm actually teaching this part of the workflow. So I just thought that would be interesting for people to take a look at. Okay. So we're going to come back to this in a moment. I'll stop sharing. Okay, slow down, take a deep breath. I'm just so excited, guys, to come off a month end like that. It's hard to talk slow because you're in momentum. Okay, I'm going to go to a couple statistics. And you've already heard a little bit about this so far from the other speakers. 84% of people will make a decision after their 6th time being invited. So you've heard about invitations, you've heard about presentations. Patrick Baum himself, would you want a Patrick Baum in your business? I think so. Would you want anybody that's been on this presentation so far in your business? Yes. Are you willing to be persistent in your follow-up so that you could get somebody like that in your business? Patrick said it was 6 invites before he was willing to take a look. A couple other statistics, and again, I'm going to look so I don't mess them up. So 45% of people doing this business will only follow up with somebody one time. And that's going to give them a 2% success rate. Why? Why would you do that? Think about all the work and the effort you've done. Maybe it's a post on social media, and then you're reaching out to the person and they buy, and you only follow up with them once. And you've done all that work for 2% success. 5% of distributors, only 5%, will follow up 5 to 12 times, which is required to get 80% success. Okay, so let that sink in for a minute. We're going to work on this worksheet, and that's why on the worksheet there are 13 lines underneath each person. So, ooh, I've got cat hair and dog hair floating around me. So we're going to talk a little bit about the when, the why, and the how. So the when to follow up is always. And some of these concepts have already been discussed with the other presenters because they're intimately involved. When you talk about doing follow-up, what are you really doing in the follow-up? You're inviting again and you're presenting again and you're doing it over and over. So you're going to be following up all the time. As Jason just said, you follow up after you've done an invitation to watch a presentation, to join a product group, to after they've purchased a product, and of course, when you're recruiting. So you're always doing the follow-up on everything. This is a relationship business, and it requires that follow-up to develop a solid relationship. And why are you following up? Well, I think we've already covered that. If you're not following up, you're not going to have success. It's that simple. So as Tracy said, you can do everything else, but if you're not inviting, you're not doing the business. And I fully agree. But if you're going to go to the effort to invite and then present, there is no point in doing any of that if you're not going to do the follow-up. So you have to make sure you do the follow-up. So here, I'm going to slow down again a minute. So here is another thing that's important to look at. It's not why follow-up, it's why not. Why do so many people not follow up? So I just wrote down 3 things for today. The first one would be you're afraid of a no. So we've already covered that earlier today as well. Don't be afraid of a no. Every no means you're closer to a yes. If you've ever read the book, Go for No. Don't be afraid of a no. A lot of it has to do with mindset. What are you reading? What are you listening to? What are you doing before you make that call? Tracy was talking about that. Get your energy up. Think positively. Don't think, oh my goodness, I'm afraid to reach out because they might tell me no. Go in with a positive attitude. Okay, so the next one that I get for people that work full time and they're doing this business on the side is that they don't have the time. So here's my thought is if you have time to reach out to 50 people and invite and present possibly, but you can't follow up, don't invite and present to 50 people because the follow-up is key. Maybe you only invite and present to 25 so that the time you took to invite and present to the other 25, you're using that time to do the proper follow-up. And another big one that happens is disorganization or not being organized. So you want to follow up, you have good intentions, but people are all over the place. So the sheet that you printed out today, okay, would be a great way of following up. Maybe you put that in a binder, or maybe you use one of these. As I've heard people say, this is their Bible, the 90-day journal. I use these every day. Now, here's the thing. People will ask you, what is the best way? What's the best system for keeping track? And it's the same thing when I was a personal trainer. When is the best time to work out for the best fat loss? And the answer always is whatever you are going to be able to do and stay consistent doing it. So whether it's for keeping track of follow-up here, whether it is digital or paper or a journal, whatever you're going to use and use it consistently and is going to work for you is going to work for you. And that's your tool. Okay, I want to head over to the worksheet before we run out of time here. So let's go back. Okay, so if you don't have this printed out already, hint, hint, next workshop, make sure you have these printed out in advance. They are in the files section of OTG or One Team Global Live. But you could just do this on a piece of paper right now. I'm just going to tell you a little bit how to do this, and then I'm going to give you about 2 or 3 minutes to actually do it. And then I've already written down some examples that I can go through with you if we have time. So the idea of this is just to put names across the top. You're just going to choose some people that you are currently working with. And then you can see underneath each person, it gives you 13 lines. So these lines are where you write down what you are doing with them for follow-up, what you have done, what have the exposures been. We are always exposing, involving, and upgrading. So write those down: expose, involve, and upgrade. Those are really, really key words. Okay, how do you expose, involve, and upgrade? Well, we just had an amazing presenter share that with us. So Patrick explained, and I have it all written down on here. So it could be a Facebook post, it could be Messenger, it could be a video chat, it could be a three-way call. There are so many ways that you can be continually exposing people to the business. And it's important that they have so many, because we're layering this information for retention. People are so distracted these days. People are multitasking. Every time I see somebody not on video on a Zoom, I think, they're going to get about this much out of this Zoom, because I know they're multitasking in the background. It is absolutely, and I know myself, I will have a tendency to do that. If I'm like, oh, I just have to get something done quickly, turn my video off, and then you're down the rabbit hole and you're not listening and really taking in. So you really need to give people multiple exposures so they get it, right? Okay, I think we're going to go to the next slide and we're going to actually work on this. So if you don't have this printed out, just take a piece of paper right now, write 6 names across the top and write 1 to 13 down the edge. And you're going to go and spend a couple of minutes putting names of people that you've just reached out to, or maybe it's a customer that you've already sold product to. Maybe it is somebody you've reached out to about the business. Maybe it's somebody new in your business. It's actually a person that you're following up with respect to training and onboarding. Okay. There we go. And I'm going to give credit to somebody in my team, Linda Rita, who found this picture of Hawaii with the double rainbow. And I'm putting this on while we do this exercise because I'm big into visualization. And right now we are visualizing going to Waikiki, Hawaii for the next success trip. So we're going to go there and I'm going to put some music on and you guys have like 2 minutes to work on this. Yeah. righty. I'd love to have been able to listen to that whole song. I love that song. And interestingly enough, I had already had this planned, and then the lovely Vanessa Harris did her OTG call, not yesterday, I think it was Thursday morning, and was talking about this song and her journey with this song while they were trying to qualify for the first trip to Waikiki. Okay, so I pre-did this. I've got about 2 minutes left. And so I've already been working on this to give you some examples. And they're real examples, but I'm not going to share their actual names. And we're not going to have time to go through all of them. But I'll just give you an example, for example, of a customer doing follow-up. So I had done a story recently where I had done the LumiSpa on half of my face, on half of my husband's face for the first time. I had never done that. I put the story up, and immediately, like within 10 minutes of the story being up, I had somebody that I had sold toothpaste to, and I think Tanner. And I don't know her personally. It's a referral from somebody else from a shout out years ago. And she just immediately commented on the story. So I replied to her in Messenger. So that's basically one follow-up right there, was just replying to her Messenger. And then we placed the order. So there was communication there. There was follow-up there. And then we actually have a follow-up system that we use for people that purchase the LumiSpa, which is day 1, day 3, day 7. So day 1, I sent her a messenger. So the way I work with my clients is I say to them, let me know when you get send me a message when you get your order. So I know when they've received it. Then I can start the proper follow-up. So day 1, I sent the message. Day 3, I sent the message. Day 7, I sent the message. And on day 7, it's already asking for a shout out. So we did that. So that's 5 follow-ups right there. And then we did the shout out. And now there's follow-up to do with the shout out with her. And then the next step is going to be also getting her to reorder her cleanser and the other products that she's using. So that's just one example. And I think I'm out of time, but you can see on my sheet here, as I said, that you can be using this form for all types of exposures, and always remember that you're exposing, involving, upgrading, and you're doing it all the time to have a successful business. And have a great Saturday, everybody. Back to you, Jason.
Thank you, Julie. I figure we're all just going to get all wind up in this mug. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know about y'all, but I was doing my stuff and I was just, Liata, if y'all saw the thing in January, got me dancing, get me all feeling good about it. You know what I'm saying? But so following up, inevitably, if you follow up with enough people will get started. So how do you get them started? Right. And that's going to be our next segment. We're going to spend about 15 minutes with the amazing Phil Wynn talking about how to get somebody started. What do you do with somebody that's brand new? We're not going to get into super specifics because every team kind of runs stuff a little bit differently, but the basics and the principles of how to get people started, it is what it is. So Phil, would you come on live and share with us on how to get somebody started?
All right. Thank you very much, Jason. And those flowers just look really good on you. Good afternoon, everybody. It's Saturday and you guys are still all here. I always admire people that work on Saturday. I know it's a Saturday morning. You're still here. It's great. And so like Jason said, I've been in the business for about 8 years now. I live in Salt Lake City, Utah. I actually came from Vietnam when I was 12 years old. So I lived here for over 30 years now. Before Nu Skin, I was an engineer and I was working for the US Army as a contractor for over 15 years before I moved on and worked with Nu Skin. But before that, of course, working for one place, right out of school, I was so lucky to get a job with the government, whereas a lot of my friends, they were still looking for jobs. Some people were, moving jobs all around, but I was with one job for a long time. But as you know, when you stay, one bad thing about when you stay with one job is that if you stay there for a while, you kind of capped out where you're at. And that was about 10 years after I started with my job. I felt like I had no room to grow. That was around 2008, 2009. And if you remember, that was a time when, economy in America was really bad. And a lot of people lost their jobs. I was furloughed a few times. They sent me home telling me that there's no work. I knew that I needed to move on and do something on my own. And of course, I don't just want to look for a new job, but I wanted to do a business of my own. So I started a couple of companies in IT and media. For 3 years, I found out it wasn't something that I was so excited about. It was still IT. It was something still in the field that I was kind of sick of. And around 2012, that was when, our family, we had our second child. And, two young child, one was 3 months old and the other was over 3 years old. My wife is an attorney. And so, we were both working a lot of hours. And so we did not have time for our children. And so we knew that, we needed something that was more flexible for, so that we have the time to take care of our kids instead of like just keep sending them to our parents and daycare. And so when a friend of mine approached me with Nu Skin, I was intrigued because he told me that this company, is going into Vietnam, which is, that's my background, Vietnamese. And also he said, if you do this business, you have that flexibility to do it anywhere, anytime. You can choose your own hours. At the time, I was still trying to get rid of my companies. And also, I was still working full time for the US Army. And so I took a very careful look at the business, and I decided that I would do the business at the beginning of 2013. 3 months later, I quit my job of 15 years as engineer for this business. And the past 8 years has been an amazing ride with Nu Skin. I mean, not just the flexibility, but we are able to leverage this business to travel the world. We leverage this business to be able to, have my wife work less, where, right now she goes into her office. She owns her own law firm, by the way. But right now, she works a lot less hours. She goes into the office probably about a day or 2 days a week. And that's the lifestyle that Nu Skin brought to us, to our family. And of course, coming from a background of engineering, I had no skills. I had no experience in this type of business, in the industry at all. First 3 months was hard because I started with, I did not know what to do. And, but then I learned about OTG and System 7. And it actually, from there, that my business started to boom. Because you heard it over and over again, the system set you free, right? System 7 sets you free because System 7 actually helped you, helps a brand new person knows what to do and how to get started with the business. And so it's very important when, you share a presentation or a business with a new person and they decide to go ahead, sign up and start the business. You want to sit down with them right away and get started with them. And I prefer to, sit down with them within, 24 to 48 hours after the presentation, after they sign up, maybe they made a purchase to try the product already. But, you want to get started with them right away. Because why? Because, you strike the iron when it's still hot, right? You got to get them started so that they know what to do before they get so excited and they go and start talking to people without knowing exactly what to say. And that's a lot of mistakes a brand new affiliates do. A lot of people, they get so excited after the presentation. You don't even have time to start with them yet, but they go and start talking to people, and they get a couple of rejection, and and that's where the business doom. And so it's very important to get started with them. Of course, as we do this business every day, right? People come into our business every day throughout the month, and so we tend to get very busy with our new people. And if you've been in the business for a while, you know it can get really busy with building the team. You're gonna have a lot of downlines that you're gonna be supporting. You know, you're gonna be working with them and supporting them. And so it's very easy for us to kind of lose track of our people, right? And in this business, of course, you know that knowing exactly where your brand new affiliate sits in your organization is very important. And so if you work with the worksheet, we have this worksheet ready for you, so that you can actually keep track of what you do with every single one that you start. And so today we're going to be working. I'm going to be working with you on getting started with your people. And as you can see, if you haven't downloaded this, or if you haven't printed this out, it's okay. You just grab a piece of paper, grab a pen, write down a few things. You know, we're going to write down a few things so that you can get started with your people. Okay. And of course, with this business, when you start with people, not only you're doing the getting started for yourself, but you're also teaching your people, right? You're teaching your people how to get started with their new brand affiliates. And so, it's very important for us to, to get on a Zoom call. And a lot of time right now it's so easy with the technology, where we can get started with people over Zoom calls like this. Get on a Zoom call within 24 to 48 hours and start and getting started with them right away. And as you do this business for a while, you learn how to become a coach, right? You show the business to them. First of all, you show the business to them, and then actually you're going to sit down and teach them how to get started and show them how to do the business by doing it with them. And so, today we're going to be doing this. And of course, for new people, as you can see, System 7, right? System 7, we have 7 steps for people to do the business. It's at least the basics, basic 7 steps that you can get a person to start and do the business. But for brand new people, as you can see on the worksheet here, we only have the 4 steps, right? The 4 steps, the first 4 steps of the business that we're gonna get started with. Why? Because there's a lot of information, and if we just focus on being simple with them, they first started just brand new in a couple of days or even a week. You want to start them very, very simple, and you show them for the first 4 steps: get, set, go, create contact list, right? And you have inviting and presenting, right? And so just the first 4 simple steps. And as you can see that all of our 4 presenters that did the set, go, creating contact list, inviting. Tracy did an amazing job on inviting, and also on presenting by Patrick. That was an amazing way to teach people how to present. And so we're gonna work through this. So I want you guys to pull out your sheet that you printed, get a pen, and we're gonna start working together. And when let's go backward. Last month, okay, we go with the person that you just share the business. Let's say like yesterday or a couple days ago. Have you started setting goal with them yet? Have you sit down and set goal with them yet? I want you guys to start writing down their names, right? So let's start with the person that you last shared the business with. I'm gonna write down my one of my new brand affiliate that I just signed up. Okay, Tao. So I'm gonna write that down and give you guys a little time to write down the name of that person, that brand new distributor, brand new brand affiliates that that you just signed up. Okay, did you sit down and do a getting started with them? Did you set a goal with them? Did you learn about why they want to do Nu Skin, right? Setting goals. You know, Nick Jackson did an amazing job on setting goals. But did you learn about why they are doing this business, right? You sit down and learn about that. Ask them questions. Why do you want to do this business? What's your background and why do you want to change, right? You want to find out why they are changing. Suggest those things so that they kind of understand their why. Okay, what's their intention? What's their intention? Do they want this business as a side hustle, a side job, or do they want to move into a brand new industry, a brand new career, right? Because why? Actions are motivated, determined by your intention, right? And so you want to learn about that intention. And maybe sometimes people start the business, but they don't have that clear vision of their goals. They don't have that clear vision of their intentions. You want to work with them so that they can have that clear vision, right? Clear goals. So set goal with them. So you know, Tao Lee, I talked to her, and through our presentation and discussion, you know, kind of learn about why she wants to do the business, right? And so you want to write that down. Okay, so you set goal with them, and you guys do the same thing. Think about the person that you started with the presentation, you know, maybe a couple of days ago, and set goal with them. Okay, so that's the first step that you want to do. And of course, this is their goals. Okay, you want to make sure that this is their goals. Maybe their goals right now is not, you know, it's not becoming a millionaire, becoming a team elite, but you know, through time we work with them, and that vision will start to expand. But you know, of course, you know, you give them suggestion, but you don't want to set your own goals within your people. And so make sure that you know, they understand this is their goals, this is their own business. Okay, so set goal with them, write down that person. All right. And then you know, maybe another person that you presented last week, you know, you did a presentation with them, right? And then you kind of set goal with them, but did you do a contact list with them, right? We have the worksheet that was presented earlier. Use that worksheet so that you can suggest to them, you know, how to go through their contacts and create that contact list. Have you worked with them on that contact list? Okay, so put a check mark on whether you did do it or not, right? So maybe with Tao, I only did, you know, I can kind of learn about her goals, but we have not really set goals with them, haven't really sat down and set her goals. And so that's one thing that I'm going to be doing, you know, set up that appointment so that we can sit down and get started with her, because, you know, she just started in a couple of days. It's a good time, you know, at the beginning of the month. We can set that goal, you know, that short-term goal of this month, maybe, you know, LOI in the first week. We're going to help and support her to get that to the LOI in the first week. So, you know, that's one thing that I'm going to be doing. Write down the second name. Think about the person. I'm going to write down, you know, my name, the name of one of my brand affiliate, Jalen. Okay. And you do the same thing. Write down that person. You did a, you know, maybe you did a getting started with them already. Set their goal already. Now you do your contact list, right? So use the worksheet and write down the contact list. Contact list is very important for our business. You know that, you know, we are in the business of connecting people, right? And so if you don't have people, you got to look through your contacts. Of course, you know, in our head, we probably know about this many people. When I ask people about their contact list, they're like, I don't know that many people. But you want to do that. You want to go through their phones, tell them to go through their phones, go through their family members, go through their communities to write down that contact list. Okay, so make that checklist so that you know where Jalen is at, where is that person is at. Have they completed the contact list, the tasks that they're supposed to be doing? And next steps, you know, teach them how to invite. You know, how to invite. Of course, you know, inviting is very, very scary to a lot of people.
Phil,
Yeah.
we're having some problems with translation. We need to switch. I'm so
Okay.
sorry to interrupt you, but can I
No
do so?
All right, I'm gonna give it a couple minutes before we go on. I probably have another 4 minutes to wrap up here. Just let me know when I can start again.
Go ahead, you can start now.
Okay, thank you. All right,
Thank you.
all right, thank you, Scott. All right, so the next step is inviting. Teach them how to invite. Don't let them go out there and start talking before you kind of teach them how to invite. You saw that Tracy explained to us that do not do the presentation during your invite. Just do that quick invite. And I found that there are many ways to invite, and so you can invite with your voice message, your voice clips, or you can do the message, through Facebook or whatever, text messages. Calling people is very scary. When I started the business, it was me, calling a lot of people. And of course, there are mistakes along the way, but it's okay. Like many speakers said, you're not gonna die. I'm still here, right? I learned the business. I haven't died yet, so it's okay. But teach them how to invite, because the business starts when you start inviting, right? You get this first step of setting goal, creating that contact list, and then once they start taking that action to invite, that's when the business start. Teach them how to invite, very simple, within seconds, like Tracy already taught you, or within a 2 minutes conversation. Don't stay on there for too long. And I focus on this a lot with my team. Okay, teach them the 5 C's, right? The 5 C's: clear time, commitment, create curiosity, control the conversation, and also commit that appointment within 2 to 3 minutes only. Okay, so teach them that skill of inviting. If anything, for a new person, that skill, if you can master that skill for a new person, at least you get that your business moving. All right, so teach them how to invite. Write down that person. Have you taught to that person how to invite yet? Have you taught that person? Okay, and then I'm gonna write down my 4th person, Chi. She is doing the business right now already, but let's teach her how to write her story, presenting, right? Of course, a brand new person, they're not going to know how to present, but at least you can teach them how to build their story. Everybody can tell you about their story, right? Within 2-3 minutes, they can tell their story. Of course, that's presenting too, presenting your background, presenting who you are. When you first start the business, when they first start the business, they can't present yet. So you do the presentation for them, you present for them. And if you're not at the point where you can't present yourself, connect them with your senior upline so that they can help you do that 2-1 presentation. Leverage like weekly OTC weekly business briefing, right? That's presenting. So use that, right? And as you do the presentation, as you do the business for them, they can watch. They can watch and they can learn, right? Tell them to take note and learn how you present. And then you can allow them to share their story as a testimonial at the end, right? So you help them build their story with the products, with the reason why they're doing the business. And then as time goes on, right, they listen to the presentation enough, you can teach them how to present. We have a 5-point presentation, 5 key points, very clear, so that you can teach them. And when they start feeling more confidence, you can start having them do the presentations themselves while you're watching them, right? You're watching them and supporting them. And then at the end of that presentation, you can do a wrap up and give them feedback of what they can improve on. And then as they have new people, they can start that same process again. And they can start, when they have new people coming into their business, they can start teaching their new people how. Okay, I think I'm run out of time already. And so it's all about, doing the business, teaching people how to do the business. And that's all I have for getting started. Very simple. The worksheet is already there. Just go through and make sure, keep track of who in your organization and where they're at in their business right now. Patrick?
Thank you so much.
Jason,
Bill.
sorry.
No, you're good. We have the same haircut, so it is what it is. No, thank you so much, Phil, man. I really appreciate you willing to step up and help and take time out of your Saturday to be with us. So thank you so much. Again, appreciate your help. And with this, guys, we are at our last presenter. So you have hung in here the entire time, and it really gets down, and I'm super excited. So Phil made a big comment that I wanted to make sure that y'all got. Like I learned the entire business by doing it with my team. So I didn't know how to present, but I got good at connecting people. So if Tracy was my new person, I would get her on a 3-way call, maybe with Phil, and I would be really good at making introduction, and then I just shut up and I listened. How to present, how to follow up, how to answer questions, do the objections. And just like he was saying, sometimes you have to do it with them. Lock arms with your teammate and do it with them. And I think that goes into our final segment today of teamwork, right? That's what it's all about, is teamwork. And just like this whole panel got put together today, like I said, we're all over the Nu Skin world together as far as separate teams, but we all work together as a team to help other people succeed. We want to, like I said, I can't wait. Liata and I are super blessed to be able to help kind of bottom line Success Summit. And when we're talking about recognition and things we're going to do, we want to see that stage like buckle with as many people we gotta present or recognize for their achievements. So we're up to the last one. So hang in. This is the last speaker. When Liata gets done, it's done. It's over. She is going to close this out. But Liata Hunt has been, man, she's like a sister to me now. She's somebody that came on the scene, as any of you know, like a ball of fire. And if you're around this lady, you are going to smile and not stop smiling. She is amazing. She spent a lot of time as her career in the military before her time with Nu Skin. And just like we've heard throughout, what's so funny about her, or what I love about her story, is a stranger that came up to her at an event. They saw something in her and they're like, I gotta go talk to that lady. And came up, and the rest is history. Here she is, now a team lead with Nu Skin, crushing the business. And I'm super honored that you are with us. And of course, you got the flowers. That's what I'm talking about, because we're going to be partying in Hawaii together. And Liana, I'm going to turn the rest of the time over to you. Thank you so, so much for being with us and for ending it out with the last segment of Teamwork for us.
Aloha. Thank you so much, Jason Harris. You are an absolute champ in our journey, and what an honor and a privilege for me to serve alongside you. And a special shout out to Jason Harris. He put this entire event together, rallying leaders who are here to serve and give up their time and volunteering to make a difference in your business, as I'm here to do the same. And I count my many blessings. I thank God for such an opportunity rare as this, to be able to share my golden nuggets with all of you for a workshop. And, you know, I came in this business. By the way, I'm originally from Samoa in the Pacific Islands. So yes, we will be going to the islands for Waikiki, Hawaii later this fall. And we've got 2 months to make it happen. May, June, let's knock it out. And this workshop alone, believe it or not, is exactly the key that's going to help you and your teams set you up for success, so you can join us and have fun in Hawaii. Oh, and a teaser, everybody else had leis to show off on today's call. My husband stopped by with a mango drink. This is like the Hawaiian drink, you guys. So cheers to you on this call, and cheers to celebrating you earning your Waikiki, Hawaii success trip, ladies and gentlemen. So I thought I'd rub a little bit of that in just to have fun with you guys as well. And so we're closing off today with a topic, let me tell you, that's going to hit home run to help you build a solid business in this journey. And so, again, I just want to, share my screen here. I just want to be able to showcase actually my family. And I want to take time out to also share my love for the journey, and that this journey is not easy, never easy, but it's a journey worth, building, fighting, and striving to be successful at. And so I also wanted to take a quick moment, because in case you don't have this worksheet, please just copy the first line there straight across. Everything else you can fill with the rest of the names lining down. And so with all the different columns, but just go ahead, put on your piece of paper, teamwork at the top, put name L1G1, put name locker, name focus, name your GSV inviting, just that first line, okay? So quickly get that going. And as you're writing right now, I want to announce next week, Thursday, will be Science Luncheon. Invite your leaders. Also, Team Elite University will be on the 17th. So lock those dates in, get them going. And July Success Summit, you guys, run now. Get to Ruby and above. Don't show up to Success Summit in any other rank. Show up as Ruby and above, you guys. And so again, now that you've got this written down, and so I'm going to showcase what I have here in front of me is this exact same worksheet that I just showed you guys. And so we're going to walk through it, okay? You've heard from phenomenal trainers today. Oh my gosh, this was such a superb workshop. I don't even want it to end, okay? We're going from month end to April. Congratulations to all of you rock stars who closed out the month like wildfire. I still feel like I am in month end today because it's never ending and it's an ongoing hustle, you guys. And it's just the greatest mode and momentum to be in. So with everything that you've learned today, we're going to close it with teamwork, okay? And so the first column that I want to go over with you, so we're going to do workshopping right now. Get your paper, pen, don't rest, don't get off the call. This is the best part, you guys, because now that you're building in this journey, imagine if you've been in the journey now, you've built thus far, you've got a team now. You've got a team ready to go. Or if you're brand new, welcome to New Skin, welcome to your first workshop. Let's say you now have a team. After everything you've learned today, you've applied it. Now you have a team of leaders. What do you do now that you have a group with you, Kane? So one thing I always love is that Clara McDermott, the founding distributor of New Skin, she says, that we're not just building a team, we're building a family. And that really and truly, it's like, getting to meet new members of your family. And I love that about this journey. And so as we go over step by step of the different segments here in these columns, I want you to look at people truly like their family in the journey to you. And it'll make a difference as well, okay? So the first column, as you can see here, L1G1, what I want you to write down, and we're going to take, and because of time, we're going to take about 30 seconds. And even if you just filled the first row, I'm totally okay with that, you guys came. And so, but please make sure when we're done with this workshop, continue filling out the rest of your columns, okay? So go ahead and write down the name of your level 1 or G1 leader that you personally sponsored in this business, okay? Go ahead and write their name down. If you have a leader now that you're currently working with, go ahead and write their name down. And by the way, level 1 G1 personally sponsored, okay? And I'm just going to use initials just so then I could showcase you guys as well. So, and I'll just kind of keep it, all right, kind of brief for you, okay? So I've written down John T, okay? He's my level 1 G1. I personally sponsored him, okay? So you want to keep filling this out. You want to have this worksheet, by the way, ongoing process with you every single month. And as soon as all of these are filled out throughout the month and you're done and these leaders are now progressing, they're building, your organization is rolling, guess what? Print out a new sheet. You've got a new slate. You repeat the process, right? You've heard from many leaders. Charlie Patterson himself talks about, repetition is the mother of all skill. And so you want to make sure as you're building, you just got to be in repetitive mode, okay? So now that you've got your level 1 G1 leader, which is your personally sponsored leader, your next task is to then write down your locker, okay? Your locker leader. Now, you're probably wondering, what's a locker leader? How do I identify one? Well, I'm here to tell you, because of teamwork, you want to know who you need to work with and where your focus needs to be, okay? And this is so important when it comes down to identifying or writing down the name of that locker. Now, a locker, and I learned this for the first time 3 years ago from actually our Blue Diamond Phil Nguyen when I heard him on stage at TEU. He talked about a locker is someone that will do this business with or without you, my friend. And so what does that mean? Super motivated, right? An initiator, a go-getter, somebody who is so hungry to be successful in this journey. Those are the names of the people that you write here in your locker. Now, if you're new and you're not sure who your lockers are now, that's okay. Then you want to keep inviting and inviting and inviting so you can find those lockers, right? But if you know you have one now, go ahead and write their name down. So I'm going to go ahead and write, okay, locker down. Okay, so I've got James T. Okay, James T is my locker. And by the way, I'm identifying James T as a locker that's underneath John T's organization, right? Because remember, these are my level 1s, okay, my level 1s. And so James T is actually the locker under John. And you know what? Maybe in this case scenario, John's actually not the locker in my business. I signed him up, but he's casually doing this business, which I'm like, I'm not sorry. I'm going to work through you. Okay. We never quit on people, but you got to work through people sometime, right? Because you've heard from the speakers today, it's go time. It's year 2021. So then you identify James as a locker that maybe John brought into your organization, or maybe that James is 6 levels deep, right? Or 5 levels deep, or however. But again, you want to zone in, identify who those lockers are in your journey, okay? And if you have no locker, that's your goal this month. Hunt and find that locker. All right, next is your focus, okay? Who is going to be your focus as you build with your team and your organization? You're growing your organization. You've got your level 1s, you've got lockers underneath them. Now, I've learned, you guys, that actually your focus needs to go, and hear this one out, not to brand reps. So if James has brand reps under his organization, you're not focusing on a brand rep that's underneath James. You're actually focusing on the leaders, the new brand affiliates, the new team members, or leaders that are under that brand rep that's under James. You're focusing on them. Yeah, you are, you guys. So go ahead and just write a name of not a brand rep. Okay, so let me just put brand rep leader here. Maybe this brand rep leader's name is Jamie. Okay, so I just put this in between. Jamie's not in the focus line. Jamie, I just put Jamie as a name. Jamie, I placed Jamie under James, who's the locker. But Jamie's the brand rep that maybe you just created last month, or maybe, you know, going into this month. You're not going to focus on Jamie this month now that she's a brand rep, you guys. You actually now this month want to focus on all of Jamie's new LOI leaders or new brand affiliates that she just signed up, okay? So go ahead and write the name of that leader under Jamie, or the leader that you identify under your list. And I'll just go ahead and put Tanya. All right. Okay, so now I've got Tanya. Now here's the magic that happens in the teamwork effort. And just like Jason Harris just shared, that it's you coming in willing to shadow, willing to look over, right? And be mentored by, let's say myself, right? So I'll work with Tanya. And if any leaders that are above Tanya, even Jamie, or even a leader, you know, in between James, going up to John, if any senior leaders above Tanya come to you, come to me and say, Leatza, can you teach me how to invite? Or, hey, Leatza, I need you to help me game plan, right? Plan of action. Or Leatza, I haven't done my vision board yet. What do I need to do, right? You see, I love that this business, I've learned it's not working harder, it's working smarter. Because if you had to work with every single leader in your organization, you wouldn't have end of the month, you guys. And so what you want to do is invite everyone above Tanya. And you might as well invite everyone above Tanya and say, you know, shoot out a message and say, team, I'm helping Tanya learn how to invite. And oh my gosh, Tracy like hammered it today in inviting spectacular, right? So again, you would invite your leaders, senior partners, or this person that's wanting to ask about this question to come in and shadow you working with Tanya. Because remember, your focus, right? I love that OTG set this up, that your focus is on Tanya, not on the leaders above Tanya, not Jamie, who just became the brand rep. Nope, she was your focus last month. Your focus this month, Jamie was your focus last month because she wasn't a brand rep yet. So notice the domino effect, right? So now you help Tanya, and as you're helping Tanya, you know, meet and greet. And this is where the family relation comes in. You want to treat people like they are family, get to know them, get to know their goals, their dreams, their why, you know, get to know their hustle as well. And if they live near you, and as long as COVID restrictions safe and you feel comfortable, I'd say, you know, my mentor, you know, shared with me, go to their house, meet and greet them, get to know their family. Remember, you're going to be building a new skin with them forever, right? And just connect on that level, or make sure you zoom in or be on a video chat call and just get to know people, and especially why they're doing new skin. That why is going to be so powerful for them. And so now that you're helping Tanya, everyone's shadowing, you're helping Tanya get to know her why. Let's set her up to be LOI this month. You know, let's help her step by step and learn. Everyone else above that you're inviting to those calls with Tanya, they're going to learn, you guys, and it's a one-stop shop there. And so last but not least, your GSV inviting, okay? That's the last column, your GSV inviting. You guys, I know sometimes in the hustle of building this business and building your team, you can get lost in helping so many of your other leaders that you forget your GSV, that by the end of the month, you're like, holy smokes, my GSV is not where it needs to be. So focus on balancing as well. Please do, because we're here to help others and serve others. But at the same time, you need to be disciplined, set a schedule, block out your times, do what you need to do to set appointments for yourself. And you have to use your 90-day journal. Okay, right here, I said it. Use your 90-day journal. I've got a 120-day journal. I've got a 90-day journal. I've got so many journals of OTG and I love it. But again, use your journals, block those times out for you. And I love that, you know, Charlie, he talks about swinging that pendulum, that you want to balance, right? You're helping your team, you're helping yourself, you're helping your team, you're helping yourself, okay? And so I hope that makes sense. And so again, write the name, and we're gonna close off here, and then I've got a video to share and a final message for you guys. And so your GSV inviting, who is it that's on your contacts list? Carrie Carpenter, my gosh, she blew it out the water today as well. Thank you, Carrie. Again, GSV inviting, that contacts list she was talking about. That's where those names go, right here, your GSV inviting. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a name of a person I'm actually meeting with tomorrow, and I'm so excited, okay? So I've got her name down, and so she's on my contacts list, and I'm gonna be reaching out to her. So again, simple worksheet, but you guys, it takes the work, right? You wanna, apply teamwork as far as working with yourself, working with your leaders, and helping everybody build together, okay? So that we can then work smarter, not harder, and make those alignments, come to fruition for you and your organization. And so as we close out, I actually, want to share with you, a message, and it's in particular, it's actually, I would say it was by divine intervention, really, because Jason, our incredible event organizer for this month, he actually invited me to actually present today. That was actually supposed to be my original topic, was to be a presenter. And Patrick, thank you, my brother. Oh my gosh, you did it more justice than I would have today. And so that was supposed to be my original topic, but then because of time, I had asked Jason, please, can I have time towards the end? Maybe the last 3 speakers, I'll be good, right? And then he assigned me with the topic of teamwork. And I wanted to share this with you because, as you can see here on my timestamp, as Jason has mentioned in my introduction, I served 12 years as a soldier in the United States Army, in the United States military, as a military intelligence specialist. Now, if you've seen the movie Taken, you guys, gives you a glimpse of the type of deployments, how dangerous my missions were in the military, and that the unit that I was a part of was actually, and is actually, excuse me, very elite unit in the military. And I'm talking about top-notch elite unit, you guys. And I felt so privileged that I was recruited into that unit during my career time frame. And I wanted to share this timestamp. This is April 18, 2015. This photo was taken from my camera 6 years ago. And we were getting ready to deploy on a mission. And it was supposed to be a night mission. And so I wanted to share this because, let me tell you, the power of teamwork in this business is so vital in your journey, that as you're here building, that as you're here, learning today, as we close out our session, teamwork is vital as you build. And I wanted to share this video in the hopes that you can see the value of teamwork when it comes to building a team and an organization, especially one that you want to last, right? Forever in your journey.
The United States Navy SEALs are perhaps the most
All right, you guys, again, I shared that video just to kind of give you an encompassment of truly my definition and how I've been building in my team and organization as well. And also, I just want to redirect back to how Jason Harris asked me to share today. And the reason being, because 6 years ago, on my birthday, April 18, 2015, as we were getting ready to deploy for this mission, and we were out, it was a night mission, and as we were done fulfilling the mission that we needed to do, this was international, by the way, and imagine ourselves in a forest-like scenery and at night. And I'll never forget, as we were rallying back to our point, our meet point, so that we can then chopper back up to head back to our home base internationally. I remember as we were roll calling, all of us got back except for one soldier. And we had a time zone where the chopper would land. And once the chopper lands, we board and then we're gone. And as I saw time ticking down, and as I saw that one soldier who was actually like a brother to me wasn't going to make it, and we kept radioing him in, no answer, no reply. And I'll never forget that as we were getting ready to chopper up, and we have no choice but to leave at that point, I remember right before we left, this buddy of mine was going to propose to his girlfriend at the time, who was pregnant with their child. And as we were about to leave, that struck me so hard. And I could not stand the thought that I was going to hop in that chopper and leave and come home to see this lady be there without, her loved one. And I'll never forget when I told our troops, and it was a small squad of us, a group of 5, 6, and I said, I can't leave him behind. And I said, tell my family I love them. We're going to figure out how we're going to get back to home base. I can't leave my brother. And as I hopped off and just started running just to see, retracting our territory area, I'll never forget that by the time I finally saw my brother here reach our meet point, that as I looked behind, my squad, our squad was right there with me. They were following me to find my brother here. And so when we got back, ladies and gentlemen, which we did get back safely, he did propose. And as I get ready to close my share, I want to tell you that this business, that's how I've been running my team. That's how I run in this organization, because it's not just a team, it's a family, and that I make sure every troop comes home safely. And that it's not just about the troops, or it's not just about your team members. It's about their families. All the people you work with in Nu Skin, they come to Nu Skin not just with their own goals, they come to Nu Skin because it's for their families. It's for their loved ones, ladies and gentlemen. And so I'm just so proud to have been in Nu Skin 3 years now, because I'm here to tell you, I will never give up on anyone. People can give up on me, but I will never give up and never surrender. And I'm so privileged. OTG is that leader, is that organization. OTG core dream team is the leadership team here that's been carrying that same torch and light. And that's what's allowed me to come and prosper in this business and opportunity. And I couldn't be more grateful. Again, we're not just building a team, it's a Nu Skin family, as this also is my dream team that have been there with me through thick and thin. And I'm here to tell you, build your team so that one day, no matter what happens, good, bad, in this journey, that your team will always be there for you as well, because that is the power of teamwork, ladies and gentlemen, making all of our dreams work. And so my name is Leatza Hunt, honored and privileged to have served you today here. Again, today is actually the anniversary of when we got back from that deployment. And to think that Jason Harris, I was supposed to present today, but I ended up with the topic of teamwork. I thought it would be fitting to honor all military members across the globe, no matter which military, but to also honor our Nu Skin military, our Nu Skin army, ladies and gentlemen, that we get to build, to bless lives, and to make a difference. And with that being said, take care, everyone. I cannot wait to celebrate your success. on the beautiful beaches of Waikiki, Hawaii. Let's run for Success Summit. Let's all get to Ruby and above, do whatever it takes to get there. I cannot wait. Your dreams are worth it. So take care, everyone. God bless. And that concludes our OTG workshop. Please, if your leaders have missed it, they need to be on replay. You need to send a personal message to everybody to kick off May Strong, that they need to come and replay this entire segment, and that you can celebrate and learn and grow together. God bless everyone. Take care. Aloha.